I've been making, bro.
Welcome back to Talk Yo Ish Thursday. We were already getting into it in the green room, talking that. So here we go. Yeah, I hope everybody's ready to rock and roll with this one. Welcome into the show, everybody. I would like to welcome my guests, Coop from Unfair Sports, and our boy Coach Smook from the Coach Smook Network, Alabama fam. AAA fam here in the house. We're excited to have everybody in here. We're going to talk a little bit of OU, talk a little bit of Alabama. Got to talk a little bit about Lincoln Riley. Oh, Lincoln Riley, struggling, decommitting. They're jumping ship like, rats, jumping over the overside like rats, bro.
Well deserved.
Ship is how it is. You know what I mean? Rats on a sinking ship. They're all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Coach Smook. Tell everybody how to find you and welcome in, man.
Man, you already know, man. I appreciate you, Jason. I've been waiting to have some space. I was gonna do it live tonight, but I'm tired of the solo thing already. Right, doing it like trying to do it every day. Not in a bad way, but I love to get out and see my fellas, all the people I've made connections with. I like to watch y'all content live, man. I love
it's a lot easier whenever you got two people or more.
Right. You know, and I collab with a lot of people on my show, but man, it's always good. I tell my community anytime I'm watching something, I tell them to show up and watch with me. Like that's how I am. And so appreciate everybody, AAA community pulling up. But you can find me at Coach Smook on everything at Coach Smook. If you type in Coach Smook, there's probably one burner account on Twitter that might pop up, but that ain't me. That's one of my misguided supporters. But other than that, man, at Coach Smook on everything, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok is kicking back off. We're doing a lot of things and we're collabing. And once again, Jason, appreciate you for let me jump on it. And nice to meet you, Coop.
Glad to have you too, man.
Obviously, Coop, thank you for showing up for the show tonight, man, off of Unfair Sports. Tell everybody how to find you, brother.
Yeah, check us out, Unfair Sports. You can get Twitter, YouTube. We also have the Sooner or Later podcast, another off-brand. And man, I just this is the June is like Christmas to me. This is just this is where the happiness and the craziness happens, kind of all wrapped up in one. I'm a July 7th birthday, so you got Independence Day, and then you got there, and so I mean, it's this is a fun time of the year.
Yep.
Hey, everybody's undefeated.
Fun, especially when you get somebody like old Trojan Fight pops in here. Dude has nothing but excuses for Lincoln Riley every time he shows up, and he's gonna come in running that mouth about it's our favorite subject, not our favorite subject, Trojan Fight, but one of them, because all that shit everybody was talking about, the mecca of college football and how he couldn't recruit elite talent to Norman. But he was going to be able to do it at SC. He just can't recruit elite talent at all. That's what's happening. So we're going to have our fun. We are going to have our fun. And
yes.
And then my second favorite, well, this is definitely my favorite subject, especially when we're talking little smack. Love to talk about the brand out down there in Austin. The brand down there in Austin that going to come into the SEC and dominate the Texas Longhorns.
Finally returned. Your brand.
This is how we roll.
Come on. Time out, man. Time out. I'm going to be honest here. Can I be honest real quick?
Please.
What's up, man? That go Coach right there. Listen.
Hey, brother. When you start saying be honest, I think it's bullshit.
What's up, my guy?
Guys?
Man, good to have you on for real, man. I was hoping. Look, I said somebody else got to be pulled up. Jason started having that look on his face. I saw the look. He was like, he trying to get some mess started. But I'm gonna be honest right now. I've had a great day. I like that. Right, rocking out everything. But I've had a great day, y'all. I've had a great day. And right now, I'm gonna say this amongst other panelists. Don't nothing matter right now but Bama football right now. I'm telling y'all right now, bro. This is about to get crazy. I promise you, y'all. This is about to get crazy. What's about to happen with this 25 class and the commitments that's coming out? It's about to get crazy. But we'll talk about that later. I just got to be honest. I'm trying my best to hold this water. And I feel like a little girl that just got her first kiss at the dance. Like, I want to tell all my homies. You know what I'm saying? I want to tell everybody. So, yeah, man, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be here.
Right on. Coach, welcome to the show, man. Good to see you.
Well, hey, sorry, I got your message just a little bit ago, and I'm sorry I missed that, but it's great to be here.
I knew you were coming. I knew you wouldn't let me down, especially when you found out we were going to be talking. It's Talk Your Shit Thursday. I knew you would be here.
Hey, I don't give a shit.
That's Coach's favorite thing. Soon to be back on a T-shirt in the official show merchandise store. Soon to be back, but you can get your favorite Horns Down material or 4-peat material right there in that official show merch stuff. So, hey, let's get after it. All right, let's talk a little bit about that to start off with. Tell us a little bit about, well, Coach, we've been already talking about Lincoln Riley, so why don't we go there? Justice Terry becomes the second 5-star in 2 days to decommit. 5-star defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia to decommit from Lincoln Riley's USC Trojans. What do you think about that, Coach?
I'll give you my short story on Lincoln Riley and what I think about it. Lincoln Riley sucks. Other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. That was easy, quick and simple. Coop, I know you got something to say.
Yes. So Lincoln Riley can recruit elite by accident, but not intentionally. And what do I mean by that? Let's go to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is there because Vandegrift didn't come. Vandegrift was his guy. And Caleb Williams ended up showing up. And then Caleb Williams goes with him. But you backtrack, and it's not hard to see why the defensive, you don't want to go play for that because he doesn't give a damn about defense and the defensive side of the ball. And I am the one who says, we had going in right before he bounced out, there were some pretty big names showing up on the potential commitments on the defensive side of things.
Yep.
But now, as I've been watching this for 2 years, I'm thinking no, he had more defensive decommitments who never showed up because you just don't see any defensive-minded person is going to go there, and that's what we lived at so long.
We were the Power 5 in decommits in the last 2 seasons. I've still got receipts to friends, and lots of people have been. I'm tired of being Texas Tech North, this soft-ass defense with no desire to play defense, and it's just like, hey, it's literally like what they're doing with the Lloyd Noble Center right now. It's like we can either just blow the whole damn thing up, or we can just take some duct tape and just patch this bad boy up, and let's we got 50 years in this building. That's not how you progress into the future. You're just going to be, putting, you guys remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They had the phone booth, they traveled through time, and they're using gum and tin foil and cans of beanie weenies and stuff like that, and making, to get that crap to work. It don't work. They got him down. You just endure and you just play 60 minutes and you got a really great chance to win. Yep. To me, and look, you got Bumble in here saying it's about the NIL money that was promised, not Lincoln's fault. Who the hell's promising the money? Who the hell's promising the money? They did the same thing with Jordan Addison the first year that they were there. They go and get Jordan Addison from Pitt. He's the Biletnikoff winner. Guaranteed him $2 million. This came from JJ. I mean, we know that this happened. $2 million they offered him. He get $250,000 is what they paid him. It's why he didn't play in the Cotton Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that this stuff isn't going on and that Lincoln doesn't know what's happening, because he does know what's happening, folks. He knows what's happening. And it's all of these excuses. The other night, Trojan Fight was telling us every little excuse. He was telling us how it was who's the DB that just decommitted from there and now he's back or he left there and now he's back.
Damani Jackson.
Damani Jackson. He was trash. The kid was trash. So much trash that, before Saban left, he had told him, you always got a home here. So same with, he was telling us about Michael Tarquin, who really good when he was at Florida. He gets over there into the yoga system and he loses weight and isn't quite as good, and say he's trash.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, the list goes on and on.
And I want to say to this, because I think that, and I'm I'll drop this too. And if I catch any backlash from the kid, it just is what it is. But Coach Mook, you're going to like this one. OU wins a defensive back recruit, Latrell McCutcheon, who chose us over Alabama.
Yeah.
As a fan, I thought, wait a second, why? Because those guys who see the talent that's out there in front of him, yep. I can go to Oklahoma and I can end up being somebody, or I can go to Alabama and I can end up sitting behind somebody.
Possibly get buried.
Yes. And so when we were winning those recruiting battles, he had 4 stars, 100% had 4 stars, but that just was curious. Why would a defensive back even entertain Oklahoma at that point, or even entertain USC at this point? Why would you do that? I mean, like, the money's going to disappear. And now with the rumors that the money ain't even showing up in the first place, which kids are going to show up? I mean, if you're good at defense, and what was it? Was it Gibson that said it on Twitter? It said, every time I go to a different school, somebody's got the same thing to say about, I mean, every single coaching staff, from Middle Tennessee State to Georgia to Alabama to Oklahoma to Ohio State to the Little Sisters of the Poor and Bishop Sycamore, they're all saying the same thing to any defensive back recruit who has a USC on the opportunity is, come on, man, you know you're not. You know you're not going there. You are going to be a dude on defense. You're not going to USC.
Yeah, no doubt. We're not getting any echo over here.
I was just making sure, because somebody was in the other chat saying that it was a little echo, but I think they had to go out. Well, I kind of wanted to respond to what you were saying, Coop. The thing was, man, I've seen this from USC as that's traditionally what they've been. USC has never been known for being able to recruit or even hire coordinators who will be respected, like defensive coordinators. Defensive-minded personnel has never been their cup of tea. And I don't know what and I don't follow them closely. Like, I'm just getting to the stage where I'm really expanding past SEC football, right? But Lincoln Riley is not the guy you want to bring in to rebuild, right? You don't want to bring him in to right the ship. He couldn't do it at Oklahoma. And at Oklahoma, you had opportunities where the Big 12 just was not it. And you were supposed to be the number 1 team in that league and never could field a defense. And so I look back, but to go to USC, I look back at when a classmate of mine chose USC over Georgia, Jarvis Jones. We came out the same year. And I remember that year, Jermon Fortson committed to Florida State instead of going to Alabama, where he would have been with Julio. Him and Julio would have been the big name wide receivers. And Jarvis Jones chose to go to USC. And everybody in the state of in the state of Georgia, and everybody in Phoenix City, everybody in the surrounding areas, they were asking this man, why are you going to USC? And if we was able to pull Jarvis Jones and this is back in 2008. This is 2008. If we was able to pull Jarvis Jones on here, it's about the money. They've always been into this thing. This NIL thing is supposed to come easy for them, but they don't produce no more. And now Now because it's regulated, is legal to do it now. They're not able to compete because now majority of your what you have to put out there, you're putting it on one guy, thinking that it's going to roll over the same. It's not rolling over the same no more. A lot of these guys are understanding how the system works, and they're trying to get what they can get out of it before it starts getting regulated, before some parameters get put on it. And Justice Terry finally came to his senses and was like, man, you know what?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, we got USCJ as one of our boys, you know, and he comes on the show sometimes and he tells it like it is. And I was watching his show a little earlier from yesterday where he was like, look, the bottom line is, yes, the NIL is a mess over there. There's no two ways around it.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. There's a reason why these other schools that don't just recruit with NIL are still getting these guys. It's because it's about more than just the money back. You think about Texas A&M. They dumped off all kinds of money. What did they do? What did they do to their culture in the locker room? They killed it because it wasn't about anything else.
Right.
It's got to be about something else first. And that's the problem with Lincoln. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth D'Anton Lynn. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Coach Henney either. Those guys there's a reason why they committed to those guys. They're doing it the right way. But you have to have both. And if there's an issue with USC with both, if you're promising a lot of money and you don't have it, then who does that fall on? If you know it's a mess and you're telling me it's a mess, then what are we talking about? Why are you guaranteeing this kind of cash, Lincoln Riley? Because it's going to come out.
I like Gamecock's comment on me to jump in. The Gamecock grind with the Rooster. He said California is a pro state, a pro sports state. Southern Cal is going to struggle without the money. That's 100% correct. And you look at all of the other media things that's happening around the state of California. One with the Lakers. You seen JJ Redick just got that. Like, there's going to be so much more media push to support LeBron's agenda, a bigger brand, a bigger name. USC is going to be dead for the next 3 to 4 years before they start getting some attention from any type of NIL, collective, private investors. And by that time, if college football breaks down in the next 2 years like I expect it to, the third year, when it's time to restructure NIL and eliminate pay for play, USC will be irrelevant. They will be in a Miami type deal where you're just riding off of that 05, 04.
Stick a fork in their ass. They'll be a done deal.
Son. Stick a fork in their ass. They're done, son. I'm telling you.
Well,
man.
And you know what? The other thing, guys, that we talked about on the last show was, you know, all those guys that come from and don't misunderstand me. I'm a Leach fan. I was a Mike Leach fan through and through.
Yeah, me too.
But all those guys that are in that family tree of Mike Leach, guys, none of those guys believe in defense. You can look at every one of them, and not a damn one of them believes in defense. And we were talking the other night because I posed the question to the group the other night was everybody's raving about this new defensive coordinator. And he's going to do this, he's going to do that. But you got to play, and Coach, when I asked the question, made the statement I was looking for, and that is you got to play complementary football.
Exactly.
And that's never going to happen with Lincoln Riley. So we can talk about defense coordinators. I mean, he's got issues running out of every part of his program. There's issues from defense coordinators to NIL to the list goes on and on.
These kids don't respect him as a coach. They don't respect him as a coach. Like some of the stuff I've been hearing, you get what I'm saying? Like you some of the stuff I've been hearing about Lincoln Riley, even when his days at Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm talking about kids have literally come back to Alabama that committed to Oklahoma. They come back to Alabama. Man, that dude, man, soft, spineless, no backbone. I mean, soft, man. And I don't. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I don't like coaches that take advantage of these players. Like they preach this dream and sell them this dream, and then you pull them away from their homes, their families. You lie to their families. No. Like this is all the stuff I heard about Lincoln Riley, and he keeps getting these jobs. I want a job. Can I get a job, please?
So, I mean, I just read the last Trojan quote, and I might have to punch my own self in a minute. So I'll just say this is Lincoln Riley was pitching this dream to every single one of these guys, and then he hung out with like one or two of the actual offensive players, and he didn't have anything to do with the defense. I promise you, there are fans of every single program that is in the chat on the deal here, and you can go back and name more defensive players from 10 years ago from your favorite team than Lincoln Riley could on the teams that he was coaching that year. He did not talk to those people. He didn't go around. He didn't have anything to do with them. And when they try to have conversations with him, he basically cold shouldered them. So I'm just saying this is like, yeah, like, first of all, don't say that you went through multiple Heisman Trophy caliber quarterbacks in the Pac-12. Like that's come on now. Like you went through a lot of good quarterbacks, but guess what? Those guys didn't also look the same. Oklahoma, it's like the old school Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma Sooners, it didn't matter who you were. Your best game of the season was coming against our defense. We made dudes look like Biletnikoff winners. Yeah. We made guys look like Doak Walker winners. We made guys look like Heisman Trophy winners, every single one. And they're like, that dude's going to be a baller. He's going to be an NFL guy. And the dude has like 200 yards receiving the rest of the year, or goes out and goes like, 10 for 52 for, $116. And we're like, oh, no, we still suck. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
look, it's got to be, it can't be. You can make all the excuses that you want to, Trojan Fight. You can make all the excuses, just like you did the other night in here, that it's not his fault here. 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 It's got to be his fault somewhere. The dude ran out of runway a lot quicker at USC than he did at Oklahoma. But the coach, what did I end with the other night? That he inserted Texas Tech football DNA in at Oklahoma and then at USC. And it's not, look, I'm not even dogging Texas Tech. I covered Texas Tech. I love Coach Leach. Love him. But there's a difference in coaching at a blue blood where you can get those big nasties and coaching at Texas Tech or ECU or Washington State or Mississippi State even.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. As you say that, Jason, you know this. I took my grandson to a couple of football camps, Micah Parsons and then the Texas Tech camp. Just got back from that yesterday. And a lot of their athletes are out there helping with the camp. And I just kind of sat there and chuckle a little bit because you're exactly right. They don't get the top tier kids. Yeah. And Lincoln Riley can at USC, but again, he doesn't. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is, guys, the culture Lincoln Riley has created there is horrible. And at the end of the day, our good friend from USC land here, whose fault is it? The last time I checked and the last time I was coaching and I was a head coach, there's only one.
Coach, hold on a second. Start that one over, because whose fault is it? Because I just feel like this is a good point.
Okay. When I was the head coach coaching, there's one motherfucker in charge. And guess who it is? It's the fucking head coach.
You better listen.
If he's not in charge, he ain't worth a shit. So
I'm missing him. It don't matter. It don't matter. Let him go. We can
we might need to OC and co-OC this thing, Jason, because he going in right now, man. Like, listen, but you're absolutely right, Coach. You're absolutely right. I don't care what anybody says. When you hire a new head coach, he has to take that opportunity in that first, whatever span it is. It could be 6 months. It could be 8 months. Prime example, and not to just be a homer, but Kalen DeBoer did not step into this role at Alabama in half step. He didn't half step. This man got into the state of Alabama, said, I don't know the culture, but I guarantee you, I'm willing to learn this because there is no way I'm going to allow myself to be the one that says I'm following up the greatest coach of all time. and I'm gonna let it fall off on my watch? No, the hell I'm not. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm not just gonna hire staff. I'm gonna get other head coaches and other people that know how to manage teams so we could spread this thing out, because I can't do it like Coach Saban. No type of way. And the way Coach Saban was doing it was getting caught up to. We were at Washington about to catch up with Coach Saban. Now we're where he was, and we got all the assets and we got the brand behind us. You don't think, man? And so Lincoln didn't do that. Lincoln didn't use the USC brand to try to reestablish a culture, even though to me, USC had a little short run. Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, that's the last thing you heard from USC. They've had onesies and twosies come through, and they always flop, right? But nothing has happened since 05, 06.
They start. You had your offensive studs there, but they started on defense. They were going to shut your ass down on that.
That's where it was, and they don't care about that no more. They don't. They clearly don't.
And I'm going back to Coach's point here. As a coach, your players are going to do what they're coached to do or allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. And guess what? That shit plays into you being a parent, you being a manager, you being a supervisor. You are going to do what you're allowed to do or what you're coached to do. Because if you're allowed to do all this mess, you're going to do it. And guess what? Lincoln Riley's not going to stand in front of you and you'll be like, man, I'm a little scared of this dude. Every single one of those guys are 10 times his size.
Think about this. And Coop, you can back me up on this all day. Lincoln looked very, very good because of the fact that the Big 12 was garbage the last 10 years. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. When they run Nebraska out, they run Nebraska out, they run A&M out, they run CU out, they run Missouri out. They don't even add backfield with any of it. And during all this time, here's Texas doing what Texas does, recruiting, out recruiting everybody. And you know, they always win the offseason. But they've had, since their last appearance in the national title game, they had 2 double-digit win seasons. 2. So you a dumpster fire in Austin, and Oklahoma takes advantage of that. We know Oklahoma State is never going to win a freaking conference championship because they just don't. That's just not in their. It's not in their wheelhouse to win one. They can get there and be close, but they're not going to win it. But that just tells you get in that whole 6-year stretch. They won the first one with Stoops still there. Then they won 5 more. But look what happened aside from that Georgia game where you still had the size because Smitty had still been there, and you still had all those guys that Stoops had recruited. And then they got smaller. And every time they got in that playoff, they got bitch slapped.
Smack.
Every time.
You know what my favorite Oklahoma playoff moment was? I think it was 20.
This is your favorite Oklahoma playoff moment. I don't want to hear it.
Is when Lincoln Riley brought them boys down into Bama and thought they. Yes, and they thought they was going to run this 3-high look against this squad.
Man, we lost him. We lost Coach Smoke.
You know what I'm talking about. He cut your ass off quick, didn't he?
Quick. He didn't want to talk about Josh Jacobs running that young man over on that wheel route. He didn't want to talk about that. He didn't want to talk. But that's Lincoln though, man. You refuse to put the pressure on a defensive. You refuse to invest in a defensive coordinator, and let alone, from what I heard, the DC wasn't in charge of the defense. That's what I was hearing. The defensive coordinators never had full control over the defense. The style of recruiting, everything was invested into getting this offense, high-powered offense, and focusing on the offensive schematics.
That's it.
And that's never going to work out in the college game.
You can't just go and try to outscore everybody, Coach. You can't just.
And especially
the NFL.
Because, and I pointed out, and you showed up that deal, that Oklahoma-Georgia game, nobody gives Georgia shit because you had 5 NFL offensive linemen, and I'm 99% sure that all those dudes are still playing in the league. You had Mark Andrews, who's one of the top 2 or 3 tight ends in the league. CeeDee Lamb, I feel like CeeDee Lamb does himself some good stuff. Baker Mayfield. Rodney Anderson was the most explosive one on that field, and if it wasn't for injuries, that dude would still be toting it in the NFL. So you had on your 11 starting players and Hollywood Brown too. Yep. I mean, there was 9 or at least 9 of those guys in the NFL. So that's why Georgia, did that. But guess what? Georgia sure tightened it up. And when Georgia and Alabama played the next week, that wasn't any of that craziness. But again, it was an absolute.
They also had Sony Michel, and they had Sony Michel too, and Nick Chubb, both of them, and they did run wild. But that was the one playoff that they had a shot, right? And it was the closest to Stoops still being the head coach there. That's the point I'm trying to make. Everything that they did after that, it looked better than it was. And I've said this a bunch of times. I'll say it one more time. The thing that had to happen for OU to even be ready or even be kind of close to going into the SEC was this right here. You had to break. It had to break down completely. It had to shatter all over the floor that you couldn't glue it back together or throw some freaking wallpaper up and slap paint on it. You couldn't do that. If it didn't break all the way down, they were never going to be ready for the SEC. You needed Brent Venables to come back and do what he did, rip it back to the studs, and build starting on defense. Because if not,
100%,
you were gonna and Lincoln knew that shit. That's why he weaseled his ass out of there
to the Pac-12.
Thank God. I thank God every morning for it. I'm telling you,
Jason. You know what Lincoln said? It was like, man, this stuff, man. I can't. I don't know nothing about this defense. I don't know what defense. What is that? Oh, that's the other people on the other side of the ball that don't throw it and catch it and block.
Lincoln can't even spell defense.
Coach, he said, I'm gonna go to the Pac. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the Pac and I'm gonna just recruit. I'm just gonna all these Cali kids that want to come here that don't care if it's USC or whatever. I'm gonna get if they're fast. I'm gonna get them. Yeah. I don't. You know what? I don't even care to even get a good offensive line for my good quarterback. Like, I don't care. I want to create highlights. I want to be a Madden coach. And I feel like that's what Lincoln does. He came into this. How does he keep getting Jason? Help me do my resume, man. Coach, help me do my resume. Because if Lincoln can have a job at the Power 5 level, I think I got a chance. Give me a year.
I'm
salary.
with you, brother. I'm with you. And you know
I'll be the lowest paid head coach in college football. I'll be the lowest paid. Just give me.
I'm going to ask this question. We're talking about, again, Lincoln and that family tree that we were talking about earlier. Who else is just like him? Who else is just like him out of that same family tree?
Oh, the fella who's now an offensive coordinator in Washington.
Yeah, that is so funny.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Hey,
that's right.
Hey,
that is so funny.
They're identical.
They're identical. And never won more than 7 games. He had Mahomes and Baker at Tech and never won more than 7 games.
That is crazy to me.
Because again, you can't play defense. You can't play defense. I mean, you can throw points all day long, but guess what? You also have to hit 100%. You got to field a team with 9 NFL dudes on offense if you don't have a defense. And even that's not guaranteed because you see the same thing in Arizona, how Cliff ran Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. And you still get beat 60 to 54, 54 to 52. And you know what, guys? And we all know this.
Basketball scores. These college basketball scores, man. That is. You know what?
Anytime the score was below like 35, 30 in the 30s for both teams, you knew they were losing. You knew they were losing. Anytime.
Yeah. Because guys, we know this, and you can call it a cliche and all that bullshit, but you know what? At the end of the day, if they don't score any, it don't take many.
They don't.
Bottom line. If you got a good defense, you're going to be in every ball game you play.
And I kind of want to. I kind of want to speak on the decommitment, guys. Man, those two. They had 2. Was it a 5-star and a 4-star? Right. Justice Terry is 5-star, and 2 5-stars. Okay, and Zion was a 5-star, right? Both of them 5 stars. You look at those guys for Keelan Russell to win the Elite 11, SMU flip commit to Alabama, and to go out and to name Justice Terry by name. I've been saying this for a while. These recruits nowadays, these prospects nowadays, there's no secret about them communicating with each other. Social media makes it easy for these guys to start creating these conversations and creating these narratives, right? And for him to go out and publicly on that platform and to call out names of top-rated recruits, that should scare teams like USC. That should scare teams like Georgia. That should scare teams like Oregon and Ohio State, because these kids are not shy about being public about their feels. And you talking about a coach in Lincoln Riley, a coach in even Ryan Day at Ohio State, two coaches that are on the hot seat. One thing that's saving you is being able to recruit. Justice Terry and the other kid, they were your saving grace for this recruiting class. What are you going to do now? Because this ain't the last one. Juju Lewis.
No, Juju Lewis is leaving.
He's going to leave. And you know what's crazy?
Lincoln never loses his quarterbacks. How in the world are you losing quarterbacks?
Because guess what, Jason? Lincoln Riley has yet to show that he can develop a quarterback. He's inherited quarterbacks that were in previous systems that show potential. Come on now.
He just said it.
He said it.
I said it.
He said it came from someone other than me. Go ahead. Speak.
Coach, I've said this for the longest. Baker Mayfield, was it Kyler that started his whole hype about having quarterbacks? Was it Baker or Kyler? Which one was first?
Both of them, but neither one of them got recruited by Lincoln. Just so anybody
exactly,
knows.
They just so happened to transfer in and have a year where he was able to evaluate them on the clock. All right, let me design this type of scheme for. Now, schematically, Lincoln Riley's a dude. Schematically, we're not going to take
scheme it up with the best of them, no doubt.
But you're not developing crap, bro. You're not developing. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, now he has an opportunity to actually recruit a kid in Juju Lewis, and I mean, I look at him, I'm like, man, Juju can play at the college level right now. Going into his senior year, he could play at the college level today. Juju can, but what will he do with Lincoln Riley? And what has Juju been told by Lincoln Riley and the staff? What he's like. You can't even tell Juju, I developed Jalen Hurts, I developed Baker, I developed. You can't tell him that. So it had to be a bag. It had to be a bag. It had to be. This is what we're going to be able to give.
Miller Moss wasn't recruited by him either, was he?
No, none of them.
No, he was on campus.
Yeah.
So because
we're still going to do this.
We're
still going to do this.
Yeah. So you
got nothing but excuses, brother. Nothing but excuses.
No, you have Baker who showed up, and I promise you this. Baker was not a trophy when he showed up to Oklahoma. He was garbage when he showed up to Oklahoma. He didn't get a scholarship offer. None of that stuff happened. He showed up. That was pure just the Baker being Baker before anybody knew what that meant. And then Kyler, he got tossed out of A&M, and he shows up here. And then you got Spencer Rattler, but I could go through and name the guys that Lincoln has recruited who went to lower P4 schools, and nobody knows those guys' names, but you could say, hey, these are dudes, Austin Kendall. Kendall was a Lincoln Riley guy. Nobody know who Austin Kendall is, and all due respect to Austin Kendall, but Spencer Rattler was his guy, and he was a nut job. And he got himself kicked off of his team. And then he shows up and he acted like he had the Heisman Trophy when he showed up on campus.
Oh, listen, that Spencer kid is funny because I watched that QB1 series. I watched that QB1 series.
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, man.
Not a 10-foot pole, but the fact that Lincoln Riley was so public about like drooling over this kid.
Supporting him too, even after all the shit he did.
Yes, I mean straight disrespect to his coaching staff at the high school level, and Bishop Gorman is not a. I mean,
he didn't go to Gorman. He went to Pinnacle. He went to Pinnacle.
Yeah, Pinnacle. I think about him and Tate Martell. They give me the same vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same person.
Absolutely,
same person.
Literally same mentality. So, Coach, you right, man. Like it's one of those things, man. But Lincoln has and this is what I say. I will tell you this. One thing I will give Lincoln credit for, he knows how to use that media push. He knows how to use the media to create value for himself because outside of scheming, he has not done anything. What has he done? Did he beat Texas?
But you know what?
Oh, he beat Texas, but everybody beat Texas when they've been beating Texas. We don't have to. We're gonna get into that. Everybody,
you guys, and speaking to that point, Coach. You know what? He does know how to use the media, but I guarantee you the media will rip that son of a bitch apart.
Oh, that's how it does.
They're going to tear him a new ass. And it's coming, guys. We're right on the edge of it.
You remember the stories that was coming up about Michigan not being able to pay out? You remember
Yeah.
that stuff? And you see how quick Michigan went and righted that ship. They started pulling everybody. They went to the dealerships. They went to the hotels. They went to the insurance agencies. All of you that support Michigan, we need them checks today. Because it's getting out. These boys want their money. Their families want this money. They handle their business, and now they're straight. They're straight for another 2 years.
Yeah,
Lincoln not gonna get that in California. I promise you, he's not gonna get that.
No.
They're not backing him up. They're not backing him up on the NIL stuff. And I'll give him that. I'll give him that part. But I'm going to tell you this: when Bill Plaschke from the LA Times is in your face already,
oh Lord,
Exactly.
you're in trouble.
Exactly.
You're done.
You're in deep shit. Whenever
you remember that's who's in Kobe face after the.
It's bad. It's bad. When Plaschke's there in your face telling you that you ain't doing it right as far as access to the program and everything else, you're in trouble because he's a USC guy. So you need him backing you up.
Mm-hmm.
The only guy he's got right now in the media is Colin Cowherd. And Colin's full of shit.
Nobody. Oh man, I was watching Colin with Tom Brady. I was watching that little interaction, and I'm like, man, this how, you know what? I want to give my respects to everybody on this panel right now, because I can literally sit here and watch all of you guys straight through, no commercials, straight through. You know, the ads come up. I can watch you guys, and even when I disagree with you, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Some of the takes by this ESPN and all this other stuff, it bothers me because where's the research? Like, I can literally talk to a recruit today, and I see a report by On3 or Rivals or somebody. Chad Simmons, Chad Simmons, if you come by this clip, I don't like you. I don't like what you do with these recruits. I'm just straight up. Chad Simmons may be a great person in person, but when it comes to handling these recruits and covering them, you are so biased against Bama. And it's obvious, man. It's obvious. But the thing is, you create this narrative for these kids, and a lot of these kids step away and they look at these publications and they're instructed, hey, you don't have to respond. You're the recruit. But at the same time, why should that even be a case with high school kids who are picking the school that they want to play at? You get what I'm saying? And that's where I lose respect. And I feel like Lincoln Riley is falling in that same category. Media agenda. You want to appease the media instead of talking to these kids and really investing in what they future should look like by putting things around them that's going to set them up for success. Damani Jackson, his interview gave me so much insight on what the culture is like at USC. Yeah. That interview, for him to just be like, I just want to come play for a real team. I want to come play for a coach that actually cared about me. And in so many words, that's what he was saying. If you watched it, like, that's what he was saying. I just need somebody to be confident in my ability. Damani Jackson came out. I think he was the number 3 defensive back, number 3 corner in his class. The number 3 corner in his class, and he goes to USC and looks like trash like that. But not only him, the whole defense looked trash. You know, we gave him a lot of trash when he said he was coming to Bama. But then I went back and I looked at the film. I looked at USC versus Oregon, USC versus Washington, USC versus Colorado, USC versus Washington State. And I said, bro, this defense, it ain't just Damani. Yeah, he's giving up plays on his side, but this defense is horrible.
No, it was bad. And that's the other thing. Here you have, this tells you all you need. And we can get off USC after this, but this is one thing I'm going to end with on my side of it. When you're, for 2 years, you're trying to get rid of LSU off your schedule. They're even talking about getting rid of Notre Dame off of their schedule, 100-year-old rivalry game. And they canceled yesterday their series with Ole Miss. Well,
that is crazy.
With Ole Miss, they canceled their series. You're going to tell me that this is the kind of, if Trojan Fight, if you are a Trojan fan, this is what you want out of this USC program. Because I look,
Coach, you're muted, Coach.
It's all good with me.
Hey, Coach, you know something.
I was just going to say, Trojan Fight would never answer my question on the show the other night about the game not being played anymore. Had 100 excuses, but never answered the question. And again, hell, I understand why he's dropping all these teams, because they're teams that beat his ass. And he wants to get rid of them. I get it. But again, even if Notre Dame was one with a losing record overall, we still need to play. That game's been played over 100 years. and I know rivalries are going away. I know that's one of the negatives. I think.
Tell me one USC football player you know of that wants to end that series and doesn't want to kick the shit out of Notre Dame every year.
I can't name anybody.
I can't imagine an SC player saying we don't need to play them every year.
I agree.
I mean, it's like Pitt in West Virginia. Like you just got to play that game. But to transition us out of Lincoln Riley and just beating the piñata here is you're seeing not only elite guys. If you're an elite program, if you're in Ohio State, if you're in Alabama, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Oklahoma, if you're in Texas, you have to win your home state, plain and simple. And I promise you, and I'm trying not to break stuff here, but like the most recent commitment to Oklahoma, out of California. The next commitment to Oklahoma is going to be out of California. It's been, I did a count, and between transfers and commitments over the past couple of years, since Lincoln Riley went there, it's been 10 dudes who came to Oklahoma from California. And these are not 2-star potential PWO guys who just had to fill a roster spot. These are 4- and 5-star guys. And so I just continue to say this is with Lincoln Riley, his whole quarterback whisperer thing, he should be in the NFL right now. That shine has worn off, and Cliff Kingsbury didn't do him any favors. Mm-hmm. But I promise you this is he is a decision by Brock Vandagriff from maybe not being a head coach right now. Because if Vandagriff comes to Oklahoma instead of Caleb Williams, I think we're talking about something different right now. Completely different.
Yeah.
Because
I
not
like Vandagriff, bro.
And yeah. you match up those things with homeless encampments around the university, the facilities getting dogged publicly by recruits. Recruits don't dog a university. They don't talk trash about a university because they've got a buddy, they've got a younger sibling, they're going to have a kid or something like that, and they're coached against that. But again, they're not going to do that. So all of this to say is you have to win your state. And if Alabama starts losing 4- and 5-star kids out to Tennessee and Georgia and Minnesota and stuff like that, you need to look at your fan base and your coaching staff. You say something's got to change.
Yep.
But and that's a great point, Coop. And when those kids, and this was another conversation we had the other night, but when those recruits go to a USC game and you have a half-packed stadium, and then they go to a spring game at Alabama that has more fans at a spring game than they have at a regular game. Hell, you're going to lose your in-state kids. You're going to lose a lot of kids that are going to say, hell, I went to a spring game at this college, at this university, and hell, they have more fans in the stands than we have at our home games. That's another thing to add to that is fans aren't coming to sit in the seats.
No,
they want to stand up in the stadium, and you don't do that without a defense. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Offense creates highlights, but defense is where it's at. When your defense gets to stop against a crazy good offense, like last year when Alabama's defense stepped up in that game against LSU, and people talk about that hit that Dallas Turner had on Jaden Daniels. I mean, to me, it's like a 70-30. 70% is just natural football, and 30% was like, I gotta make him feel me. Like, that's football though. To me, it was nothing for a defensive back or a linebacker when I'm going across the middle as a wide receiver. That ball ain't never touched my hands before they was laying me out and cleaning me up. Business as usual. Right. Let's get up and play the next play. But now football, the game has changed and is made it more inclined to the offensive side. But you're talking about when you get a defense, man, what else you going to do in Alabama? There's not a pro team of any kind without our Trojan fight. I'm about to light you.
He hadn't had nothing but excuses for 2 nights in this show.
Listen, can I light him up? Can I get 45 seconds to light him up?
Do it, baby. Do it.
Do this.
All right, first of all, USC, you out there in California, you're the baby brother to UCLA, who is a basketball school. They haven't won anything in football for 30 freaking years, and you still have yet to make them irrelevant. Secondly, you have another team in doggone North freaking whoever junior college in in the north part of Cali that made a doggone Netflix series before you got a 30 for 30. Shut the hell up. Secondly, Alabama has won just as many national championships as you have won max games since your doggone Pete Carroll left. Shut the hell up. Thirdly, Trojan fight. Don't be talking when your recruiting class hasn't broken the top 10 in how many years? Shut the hell up. Now, listen. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't been this hype in a minute. Jason, I appreciate you.
Hey, Coach, you made me. You know what you made me do? You made me give a shit. You did. You hit the nail on the head.
And this ain't just talking just to support Bama football. Your USC has not been relevant. 2005 was almost 20 years ago. Next year, that's 20 years. Coach, that's your team. Come on,
Coach Smoot. Let me add a cherry here.
Come on.
If there was ever an opportunity for USC fans to become as animated and as just fired up for their team, I mean, I'm just sorry, brother, but Trojan Fight, you're about as soft as your head coach is. And that is why your entire crew, and I'm not just dogging on you as a person, but as a fan, I mean, soft. You need to step up and be like, no,
what Kobe said, soft.
You're a damn marshmallow.
You have to demand it. You guys are okay with this. And that's the thing about it, is you're making excuses for it. You know what everybody else across the country looks like? They're saying, man, those soft ass bitches are not going to go up to Minnesota and show out because it's freaking Minnesota in winter. They're not going to go to Ohio State, Wisconsin. Lord. Yeah, give me one of those times where you have to go across country to Maryland. And then you got several of your players who were promised that they get jets to themselves or some shit like that. So here's the thing is, man, if you want big boy football, be a big boy fan and demand better.
And you know what's crazy? That's another thing. Go ahead.
Lincoln Riley.
Listen, but the thing is that whole alignment thing, this is not going to work out well for Oregon or USC or Washington. Like that's for me. I think Oregon gets the they feel it the worst, right? Because everybody's expecting Oregon to maintain, but that travel is going to be crazy this first year, bro. Think about it. You got to wake up at 4:00 in the morning on Friday or Thursday. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be Thursday. Usually it's Friday because you're in the conference, you're in a region where you can leave on Friday morning, get to your destination Friday evening, get your walkthrough in Friday night, and then you can get to the field and your hotel, all that stuff. Now you're talking about taking kids out of class Wednesday evening, maybe Thursday morning, right? Yeah. Getting them on a red, what they call it, red line,
Red eye.
Yeah. And you're talking about, all right, we're going to have these planes where when they get on the plane and they put these headphones on and this mask on, it's going to allow them to rest and recuperate. Man, these kids going to be coming out there with hallucinating stuff, seeing plays that's not happening. Like, this is going to be a bad year for that realignment. And for me, Lincoln is not the coach to handle that. He hasn't showed anytime during his career where he's been able to handle adversity. He's kind of like one of them guys. All right, let me hurry up and find the next big thing, the next target, the next easy thing to take it off of what the real issue is. And you can't do that in this new alignment and expect to be relevant. So USC fans, Trojan, whatever your name is, $2.99 condom, whatever.
Condom fight.
Listen,
another one in here?
No,
I promise you. You probably won't show up to any other chats, other live streams, other than the remorseful and the sad USC content. Like, you're gonna stay away from every other chat after this season. Listen, Sharp, you know, I wish Sharp was on here. Sharp know how to roast him. Jason, you know Sharp know how to roast him.
Hey,
Sharp,
man, I sent him a damn invite. He knows where it is. It's
he got that baby over there. I think he got the little young one over there, so he don't know what's up.
Yeah. What else is on the docket tonight? All right, let's talk about. It's It's Takio-ish Thursday though, so there's going to be more. Matt Moscano, he's been trashing on Keelan Russell. Trashing. Called him a 3-star multiple times. Called him a bum because he flipped him from SMU. How dare Alabama go pick on SMU for that 3-star quarterback? That 3-star quarterback won the Elite 11 today. Coach Smoot, what say you? Yeah.
All right, so this is okay. Before I get to the Matt Moscano, because at this point, this dude is just a clown. That's
clown.
We're gonna put. I want everybody in the chat that's listening. I want you to take that first statement and put that to the right of your brain right now. On the left side, let's talk about the facts. Keelan Russell is not a 3-star. Keelan Russell is one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the nation. He's the number, I think, 8 player in the state of Texas. Everybody knows that Texas has had the highest overall composite rating by major recruiting sites for 11 years straight. The players collectively that come out of Texas and go to Power Fives have had the highest ratings of any state. Second to them, California. Third was Georgia. Fourth was Louisiana, right? So when you talking about a kid that's in the most competitive, based off these recruiting databases, and he's in a region in Duncanville where they play everybody on there in that region. I think all but 2 teams in that region play a national schedule. They start off with 3 national games where they travel out of state against ranked opponents, high-ranked state opponents, what previous national champions or nationally ranked opponents. All but 3 teams in that region travel, and this young man has only lost 2 games in his 2 years as a starter. So really started as a freshman, a true freshman throughout half this. I want to say it was probably the 4th or 5th game of his freshman years when he started starting. He's only lost 2 games. No, I think he's only lost 1 because the 2 losses that they've had
one game in his career. 1 game.
He's only lost 1 game in his career as a starter, but they've lost 2 games during his tenure at Duncanville. So this is not.
He wasn't starting in that other one. They brought him into that game to try to bring him back.
Yeah, 29-1. Exactly.
And you think about that. You go and look at that as a freshman. So the guy in front of him was a highly touted guy. This guy was leading a team that was traditionally known for winning. He comes in as a true freshman. Sophomore year goes and leads to the state. Junior year goes and leads the state. He's going into the senior year, and they got him rated as a 4-star. He goes and wins the Elite 11 right after Moscano calls him a 3-star. My response to Matt Moscano is ESPN, whatever y'all paying him, just give me 25% of it. I won't talk about Moscano again. Like, I don't care. At this point, they didn't hire him to do analytics or none of that. They hired him to be a freaking clown. And if that's what y'all hiring now, I can act up. I can just say stupid stuff and it not be realistic and just to get people riled up. I could do that. But when the facts lay it on the table, Keelan Russell will be the best quarterback of this 25 class. And with him committing to Alabama and this recruiting class that they have coming around him, this team has an opportunity to be 3 or 4 during his time. 2 or 3 if he chooses to stay 3 years, but 3 or 4 for real during his time at Alabama.
He's the kind of kid that can start right away too.
Oh, there's no doubt.
I just said it. I said it on my live, bro. I did a random impromptu live because
everybody wants to say Ty Simpson's coming up next. I've heard all the guys that have talked about a lot of that stuff. I'm not believing that. And the kid that they brought with them from UW, would be closer to getting that job than I think Ty Simpson would. That's just my belief because he likes him. And he's brought him up into his system. To me, the only question about Keelan Russell is his weight. Is he going to be able to be heavy enough to run around and be ready to go in that vein?
Question. I'm gonna ask y'all all 3 of y'all before you go, bro. Where did Jaden Daniels just play at this past year?
Yes, 191.
Yeah.
Come on now, Russell.
Yeah, so that's where
he's going 160 right now, bro. He's 160. Come on.
Russell 187. Don't do my boy like that. I talked to his mom the other day. She said she been feeding her baby. Don't do that. Don't do that to my boy.
All right.
I'll say
what
this.
I saw.
I'll say this: that usually when you're a quarterback and you are having trouble with ratings, at this early, it's the competition, which obviously didn't hurt Arch Manning. There is the height, which he's got that on check. the arm strength. I've watched plenty of Keelan Russell video, and he looks like Jalen Daniels. So I mean, like he is, and he seems like a smarter quarterback and a better pocket presence. So no, listen. I don't have anything against you saying that he's going to be the best in this class. Now that being said, he plays in Duncanville, so my uncle's a coach down in Texas, and he knows this guy too, and he's an Oklahoma State guy, so he's a little shady on good football. So, but I will take his saying on this one. But Keelan Russell is going to be a dude, and he's going to make a push. But here's the thing: is he is going to be a guy that if he doesn't get that job, there's going to be folks knocking on the door saying, "Hey, we got a spot for you today," or Simpson. But I mean, he is a dude, and he is going to be somebody.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is one thing that I'm glad that I work the way I work. And Jason knows this. He's seen it. He's seen it like live in person. Like Dijon Lee, that's my little brother. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these top end recruits that Alabama is really targeted, they're like little brothers to me. Before Russell committed to Bama, his thing was, I want to be in a system where I can continue to develop. Not a bag, am I going to play my first year on campus? So Russell will come in and let Ty Simpson.
And right, real quick. That's why he was committed to SMU. They've got a real coach at SMU.
Yes, and they have a system that fits his skill set.
Absolutely. It's not like he wasn't good enough to play anywhere else. He went with a guy that he knew was going to be good.
Yep. And see, so my thing is, and I love Ty Simpson. Everybody from AAA family, y'all know how I feel about Ty. My thing is, it's just not his time right now. But my thing is with Ty, if you don't make yourself the clear-cut QB2 right now, I mean, going fall camp, we know Miro is the one. Miro has to lose the job for Ty to get in there and take over this team this year. He has to lose it. Miro has to lose a game in order for him to lose this job, right? Ty Simpson, you have to set it up so when you're getting in the first 3 weeks and we're up 41-6, you're able to extend that lead to 63 off of your 3 drives that you're going to get. Before you got to be able to do that and separate yourself, because when Russell shows up early enrollment time for bowl prep and spring ball, you got a problem. This young man is that good. He's going to be real good. He's 6'3", 6'4", but he has a 6'7" wingspan right now. Like, I don't think people are paying attention to that. He has a 10'3" hand span. That is what you see out of guys that's going to the league right now. Like Jaden Daniels, that's close to his measurements, and he's that going into his senior year. So once he gets to a program where they can get him on a meal prep, they get him in the weight room and doing the things to focus on this part of your body, and that, man, it's going to be dangerous. And I'm telling y'all,
he'll get him. They'll get him
easy.
They're going to get him right. They're going to get him right as far as the weight. He's got all the other intangibles that he needs to be an incredible quarterback. Now, let me ask y'all this. I guess today, I had a busy damn day today, but as I was trying to keep up with Elite 11, I thought St. Clair was the guy that came out of there.
Day two MVP, St. Clair.
Yeah.
Okay. Day 2.
And he's nice.
And then the final was Russell, right?
Yep.
Is that what it was? Because I was trying to pull it up and look at it, but
St. Clair, is he committed to LSU? Or is that the other kid? No. Where's St. Clair?
St. Clair's a commit. He's the one that committed to Ohio State.
Okay, and then Underwood is to LSU.
Yeah, because they had him throwing to Jamie French, and he said, and they tweeted out like, "Is this a possible future connection?" So, don't
even get me started on French, y'all. I don't dog a lot of players, but that young boy, I swear, if I could get to him and have a conversation and just tell him to calm the hell down. French? Yeah, man, just calm down. We know you good, bro, but calm down with all that extra stuff, my youngin.
Have a little class, man. Have a little class.
A little bit, right? You don't disrespect. You remember how Jonte Cook disrespected Texas A&M? Mm-hmm. We was talking about where the national championships, where the Heisman's at.
No, that was Texas.
No, it was
Texas. He said all they had is swimming trophies.
No, that was A&M. He said that about A&M. I remember.
Well, Jonte, yeah, there was another guy that was saying they just got got him to. Jonte was last year, so the guy you're talking about is the guy that just committed. Coop. That he was saying all that trash about all them swimming trophies and all that stuff, but then he
commits to Texas.
I can't believe that you didn't pull his damn scholarship offer if you're
Sarkisian, right?
Yeah,
you close to under Saban. You're not supposed to play that. You play what they say now. What they say now? What's the word? What's the phrase? You playing in my face? Like you gonna play in my face like that?
It was Jonte Cook. He did both Texas and A&M.
Oh, see, I remember watching the VOD when he did A&M. I laughed. D Strong was with him, the YouTube creator. He was with him. Jonte Cook. He was like, man.
And Jonte, hey man, I'll say this: Jonte's got all kinds of skills, and he was really good. He was really good when he was at DVille. He was. He was a baller.
He's not him though.
He's not him. He's not.
For him to do that, and you see how he quickly rebounded, and he got some people in his corner that got him straight. But this Russell Duncanville, that I mean, even the young man that's playing behind the wide receiver for him to public, he called out Khalid Lockett, he called out Ty Haywood. I mean, he called out some big name recruits in his 25 class, but he even called out his teammates, say, y'all know what the right thing to do. Y'all know what to do. He told Ty Haywood, man, finish this O-line commit. We got Mal Wardrop. We got Mike Carroll. We got who's the other offensive line commitment? Doggone, I can't even remember. Let me pull up my list. I'm sorry.
You're in a fight with Oklahoma over Ty Haywood, and Haywood is
ain't no fight. Promise you.
Yes, it is.
All right, Jason. Jason, you know I don't speak. You know I don't speak on that unless I know.
I'm telling you, it's a fight. It's a fight there, but Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's in better position to get Fasusi than they are Haywood at this point.
Okay,
that's true. Yes.
I 100% agree with you, and I will coincide with that. But Haywood, y'all stop hoping. It's done. It's done.
Listen, he's not showing up on class predictions for Oklahoma. I'm just saying that it's OU Alabama. It may be 70-30, but it's OU Alabama.
Yeah,
so
you right.
He's another one on your side.
Yeah.
Right. No, and I think Fasusi, everybody thinks that Fasusi's going to Texas. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Sorry, Mom, if you watching, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say the F word, Mommy. I'm sorry.
The other ones he did, though. The other ones he did.
But Haywood is I'm telling y'all, Haywood and Sanders was a big thing early in like January, February timeframe. They were the ones talking. Haywood and Sanders, they were the ones talking. But Haywood has pulled himself away from all that extra stuff. And you watch his social, man. You can get his character. He's a Jaden Roberts. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all familiar with Jaden Roberts of Alabama, number 77 Alabama, right guard. Not social media savvy, but a straight up dude. And that's what I get from Ty Haywood. You know, before he started blowing up, I was trying to reach out to him. We had a few interactions, and I'm like, this dude is shy. He's a big shy guy. You know what I'm saying? But he fits the motive that offensive line coach Chris Kapovic at Alabama. Like, I want to be coached by this dude. He's going to push me. And Haywood, whatever this class is doing, whatever the staff is doing when it comes to relationships, it's affecting these big name guys where they're like, dang, I shouldn't have jumped to this conclusion. Like Juju I'm going to tell y'all right now, Juju might commit, and Alabama might have 2 top 10 quarterbacks committed in this 25 class. Now, how that pans out going into the future, one of them going to leave after their first year. Sure. If that happens. So one of them will leave. But to know that this staff is really showing these guys, hey, this is what we about, this is what we want to do. If you want to be a part of it, you can be great. If not, take your chances elsewhere. That's basically what they're saying. Ain't no bag talk. Javen Hilson will tell you. He got mad because there wasn't no bag talk. It wasn't no bag talk when he came to Bama. One of the top linebackers in the nation. It wasn't no bag talk.
In 247, the rankings were a little different than the Elite 11s. Obviously, Elite 11 MVP was Keelan. They had him at number 2 at 247, which is still, for him being the 7th ranked quarterback in the country, to be him show up and do number 2 out there is big. Number 1, they had Tavion St. Clair. Number 3, they had Husan Longstreet, who's going to A&M, and then Deuce Knight for Notre Dame after that. Deuce Knight's a dog. Deuce Knight's also a dog.
He still has a lot of upside. He's got a lot of improvement. He's got some footwork he's got to work on. But hell, he's the best quarterback we've brought in at Notre Dame in a long damn time.
And he's going to thrive at Notre Dame.
Since Jimmy Clausen? Since Jimmy Clausen, huh?
Yeah. Don't do that to them.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying it's
in a good way. Jimmy Clausen was a bad dude.
Yeah. No, it's been a long time. Well, you know what? It's funny that as we've been talking about all this, because I've kept up with Russell, all year this last season, because the athletic director there at Duncanville, he coached for me at Skyline, and then Coach Samples, that's the head coach at Duncanville, he followed me. He wasn't the coach that followed me, but the second one that came in. And so I know those guys really well.
Coach Samples. The other one is the one that's he's the offensive coordinator at Arizona State now.
Right. That's his son. Yeah, his son.
Yeah. Coach Samples is a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude.
Yeah. And he was seconds away from being Oklahoma's wide receiver coach instead of Emmett Jones. And that was a battle between him, Malcolm Kelly, and Emmett Jones. And I love Samples, and he is good at what he does, and I love Malcolm Kelly, and he is good at what he does.
We got Emmett Jones.
EJ's doing some wrecking.
I agree with that. I agree.
But I want to bring out another thing here is, when it comes time to these offensive linemen, I see, people who are 100% on any of these offensive linemen, like, when you're talking to the recruiting people, especially over at Texas, come on, man, like your own Texas insiders are backtracking on Fasusi. Just go in and read these things. And I'm just saying that I'm not getting my Fasusi knowledge from insiders. I'm getting my Fasusi knowledge from Fasusi. So
right. Exactly. That's where we know we don't. First of all, you guys know and this is not about Coop. Y'all know what I think about Parker and Brandon. All right. So I'm definitely not going by anything that those two little twerps say. And I damn sure don't give a crap about what Bobby Burton or Ketch have to say down at Orange Bloods. Don't care. We know we've seen Fasusi talk to PG, and the question was asked point blank period. Why would you think of anywhere else when you have Bill Bedenbaugh, who has more offensive linemen in the NFL than any other coach in the country?
100. I heard that last little bit when I came in. Bevo, that's my dude.
What was his answer? Coop, he said it. I don't know. He said, I've been thinking about it more and more all the time. I don't know how I can not go there.
Texas has never failed at recruiting. They failed at developing and winning.
Developing. Oh my God, you said that. Can I give you an amen real quick?
Hey, we can rewind it.
Say it again.
Rewind it. Texas has never failed at recruiting. They failed at developing and winning. The whole Texas back narrative is ridiculous. Texas is a damn near 8-4 average team just traditionally. So Texas is back. We're back to 8-4. And listen, we can get into the Mizzou stuff again, but you can't have one good year and then be like, we are a blue blood program and we are listen, stop.
Brand,
you're not back.
Finally returned. Your brand.
It's not back. And so again, if you're like, hey, listen, you got to be scared of Texas because they got this, and this, and this. They had, 2 first-round wide receivers and a tight end right at the back end and a full Joe Moore quality offensive line, and they still couldn't beat Washington.
They had Bijan the year before. Come on now.
Washington tried to hand you the game, and you still couldn't capitalize on it.
Twice they tried to hand it to
Kalen DeBoer cussed his defensive coordinator out. Twice. Oh. Because and that's, you know what? That's what's scary. Kalen DeBoer is not just an offensive-minded coach. He knows how to manage games. He knows how to kind of offset philosophy so that it could balance to keep his team in the game. And you're giving him a team like Alabama, and people are really talking crazy. And you know what? Everybody above me is Oklahoma, right?
A bunch of times. I'm going to say this one more time. Far be it from me to be the one to be saying that Alabama's past its prime, or that I'm not believing in the downfall of Bama with Kalen DeBoer. Got to see it first. Got to see it first, boys. Got to see it first.
It got to
my
like
question
me.
would be is what are they going to be on defense? Because we've got to see more. I believe on defense now. What they have in the room on defense says that if they were going to be better on defense, we're going to find out.
Right. Either, and I'm glad you said that, Jason. And I don't want to hog this segment because it's Bama, but my thing is I've seen these guys in person. I've got to show up week 1 for install, right? And then I got to see the scrimmage at week 2 after the first initial scrimmage. I got to see the closed scrimmage. And when I say close scrimmage to A-Day performance, what was televised was nowhere near the same. Alabama's defense in scrimmage number 2 definitely looked like the better part of the team. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. But what I saw on A-Day, no 6-man pressures, no 0 coverages, none of that was called the whole scrimmage. And I hope the SEC is looking at what happened in the A-Day and be like, oh, that's what they're going to do. Man, Kane Womack was mad because Kalen DeBoer said no pressures. Basically, that's what he said. No 5-man pressures, no 6-man pressures. Make these guys read and react. And I don't think he was necessarily mad, but
got to welcome into the show B Sharp from the Sharpshooters podcast.
That's my brother right there.
I hadn't even had a chance to congratulate him on hitting 500 subs yet. Not publicly, so we're really excited and happy for B Sharp.
Appreciate you.
Good job, Sharp.
We had to
What's
give you
going on, Coach? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute since I've been
It
on
has,
with you.
brother. Hey, you know what? It's been so long. I think you fell asleep waiting for me on one of the shows.
Here we go. Here we go. Y'all need to let that one go, man. Y'all need to let that go, man.
I hadn't had the chance to dig at you on that one. I had to get a little dig.
They're not going
to
let
I'm done.
That one down.
I'm done, brother. I'm
glad I wasn't like online for that, man. That was terrible.
I'm going to give Coach a shot of tequila. I want to rant. Thank you for the super chat there, Chicken. Much love.
Which coach you talking about? Because
he's Coach Roybal. Coach Roybal.
Okay. Because one of these coaches been on tequila.
You've been ranting.
Right. You know already.
You already know. Yeah.
That tequila already. Listen, tequila is my best friend. I'm telling y'all right now. When y'all come to the Coach Smooth,
toes fall off. Shoot.
Your toes, not your toes.
My clothes.
What did he just say?
But Jason, I want to ask you. I want to ask everybody else this. Being a primarily, I cover Bama football, and like I told y'all earlier, with just how the coverage of the team, recruiting, everything, I got to see the backs, like the inside of it, and how things were being portrayed. If y'all just took what y'all known from the major media outlets. Does this Bama team scare you more under Kalen DeBoer, or does it just leave a whole bunch of room for disbelief? And I'll start at top left. Go ahead, Coop. Go ahead.
I'll go first. It's better the devil you know. And now there's a lot of uncertainty. And so I think that it's funny that, I mean, it's not like Saban was like, man, I really didn't do well roster management, and I'm afraid of a transfer or a conference move, and so I'm going to leave. It wasn't that. Nick Saban just finally old enough to be like, he pulling the Danny Glover. I'm too old for this shit. Like,
man,
I've done everything.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
This is the time to go, because it is going. I mean, it just got harder. It just got harder because now, after you make it through the SEC, now you've got to take a best shot from somebody from the Big 12 or somebody from the Big 10 or another team from your conference, and you got to win more games to win a national championship now. And so now Kalen DeBoer comes in, and I'm fully on this train. Is it reminds me of, and I'm going to light some people up here. It reminds me of Urban Meyer leaving Utah and heading down to Florida.
Ooh.
Because you took a dude who was really good at coaching and you gave him resources.
Resources. That's scary, right? And this is
So,
not.
I'm more nervous.
And Coop is this is in an age where he don't have to wait a year to bring in more resources that have experience. He could literally go into this season and say, I'm 6-1 by the 7th, 8th week of the season, right? I'm 6-1. I can already be talking to guys at Florida State or Oklahoma or Ohio State or USC, right? Or Washington, and saying, hey, you see what we're dealing with and how we're developing. You can come and be a part of this next year while I bring in my first full recruiting class to play behind you and learn. Like, that's what NIL pay for play is allowing this gentleman to do who can already coach to win.
And you're going to start seeing it. And I think this year we start seeing it more. We saw it last year. What was the biggest national slight that happened last year? Florida State.
Florida State.
We won all of our games with our C+ strength of schedule, and we won our conference in the weakest conference of the Power Fives. Let us get in the 4-team playoff because we're one of the 4 best teams. Man, get the.
We would have cared about that. We would have cared about that if you show up in the game in the Orange Bowl. Go ahead, Coach.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
But they did. Hey, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't give a shit if they played every high school in the country. They won all their games. That is a fucking prerequisite to be.
Okay, time out. Can
I
ask this one? Can I ask this one? Oklahoma got trounced by K-State and then still went to the national championship game. And everybody said, come on, they shouldn't have been there. Now, that was a loss. Yes, I fully understand that. And you saw TCU and Baylor
do the same thing.
Beat each other. And so where I was going with the Florida State piece is it is getting worse. I mean, you're seeing it in college softball, and everybody's like, oh, well, it's ridiculous because all these top-end talents are going to go to one of 5 teams. It's going to continue to happen in college football too, because if you're playing at Virginia Tech and you got a nice 8-4 ceiling, and you might be a dude who could come in and sit in a rotation and not have to be the one guy, you will come in and be the number 5 guy on the defensive line for a competitor. And it's going to get worse until the super conference thing happens. It's going to continue to happen because programs like Stanford and Oregon State, Vanderbilt, stuff like this. I mean, there's relegation in conversations in some of these uppers people. And so you got to say this is if you're a dude trying to lead, like, what's the Daniels kid at Kansas? You tell me that if LSU came knocking on his door and said, hey, listen, come compete for the job. Are you going to leave Kansas, go to LSU?
No, they said, hey, come and get the job.
Yeah.
That's what they told him. Ain't no way come on. What's up, Jason?
Before we go any further, I do want to, thank you to Stephen G for bringing this up, but I want to shout out all the channels that are running this fire content tonight, particularly my own secondary channel, the Hall of Fame Sooner Network. Make sure you jump over there, hit a like on everybody.
Listen, right there, Jason. AAA. If y'all don't go to Hall of Fame Sooners and hit the subscribe on it, I'm gonna fire y'all up. I know I'm watching y'all in Discord. If y'all don't go over there and show my brother some love, I'm gonna fire y'all up. That's all I have to say.
We need to hit our 500 to 1,000 there as well, because we're trying to look for the algorithm's sake. You want to try to keep your content about the right stuff. Right here on Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the Coach, we talk about everything. But we want to kind of migrate all of our Sooner content over to that other channel. It'd be great if y'all jumped in there and helped us out with that. Make sure you jump over to the Sharpshooter podcast as well. Obviously, Unfair Sports with Coop.
Shout out to Coach
Jay. Hey, and Coach I is in the building, been in the building. Make sure you get over there to Fan Addict Sports Network as well. And in fact, this weekend we have the season 3 of Saturday Night Snap Count gets underway on Fan Addict Sports Network. So make sure y'all jump over there and check in with us there. We're going to do, I believe we're doing an ACC breakdown as well as some. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun, man. The Snap Count is something else. It's always what we do on Saturday nights after the games. So make sure y'all jump in and check in with us on that one. But yeah, thanks a lot for everybody to come in here and talk with us a little bit. Hey, the question you asked it, what's the difference? My thing is this. I'm going to make it pretty easy about Alabama, and I'll pass this on. I said it before. I'm not going to be the guy predicting the downfall of Bama football, particularly when the coach you got is 104-13 career.
104-12.
Okay, I thought 13 was the national championship.
Nah,
so
that was 12. Okay, so that was definitely 12. Don't do it. Don't
12 lifetime.
Put some respect on KD name. He an OG.
It ain't nothing but respect.
I know.
The guy's done it with less talent than he's got walking in the door at Alabama. And the question that everybody had, can he recruit there? Well, they're in the top 5 again in recruiting. I don't know what else to say about that. So yeah, no, I'm not going to be the dude that predicts the downfall of Alabama football. I've said it a bunch. With Oklahoma, I expect big things this year. A lot of people were asking me about Mizzou. A lot of people were asking me about Ole Miss, and then LSU on the road. I'm more concerned about Tennessee and Alabama at home than I am any of those other 3 games.
Yes. You know what, Jay?
And Missouri.
Nah, he not scared.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
You got me a couple weeks ago. Sharp, you got me a couple weeks ago.
Hey, Sharp, I'm gonna tell you, we was literally about to get into it, and I thought we was live already. I ain't gonna lie, Jason. I thought we was live when I jumped in. I thought I was late.
Bring the ruckus on it, because that ain't what you want to talk about.
Listen, I do, because at the end of the day,
you over there, bro. Come on.
Listen, at the end of the day, I think Bama gonna run the table this year. I think Kalen DeBoer comes into this thing not changing up what he does. And this is because a little backstory. I got a good feel for who Kalen DeBoer was as a person, not just as a coach, but as a person, being a team reporter for Alabama. And I asked him a question about the communication systems, the headsets and stuff during spring ball. And the way I worded it, what I wanted from him, he literally had to sit there. He told me, that's a great question. And he gave me a 3-minute explanation. He gave the media a 3-minute explanation. And after that interview, he came and shook my hand. I was like, oh, this dude different. This dude different. I'm nobody. He comes out and walks around the media. It's like 30, 40 people, media reporters that's there and shakes my hand. Great question. Glad to meet you. And when it wasn't just the interaction with me, but he did that another time after another interview. I think it was the third one right before the spring game. Same thing with Charlie Potter. When it showed him, and I was like, man, this dude is really an interpersonal guy. And if he's interpersonal with the media, imagine what he's like with his players. And when you got a coach that's like that, man, you can get a kid to do anything. He'll run through a brick wall for you. And when you have a coach like that with the talent level at Alabama, it's hard to beat. But to get to the point of like seeing what he has, like you said, Jay, the assets that's available, he hasn't been able to have this type of. The worst thing that could happen with somebody that you give $1 million is that they go and splurge. But guess what? For that time that they splurge, they live in the best time of their life. Kalen DeBoer has a year to live the best time of his life. After this,
look at this though. Question: would DeVore be viewed as a great home run hire for Arkansas or Mississippi State? Yes, he just took a team that the year he got there, they were 4-8 the year before he showed up, and he went 28-3 the next 2 seasons and lost in the national championship game in year 2. Who would
against the team that beat Alabama? Against the team that beat Alabama. Against the team that
not be a home run hire though for. Who would he not be a home run hire?
You give Kalen DeBoer any SEC team roster last year, he wins the national championship. That's how good of a coach he is. And I other than Vanderbilt, even Florida, you give him Florida. That all the talent that was on Florida,
Mississippi State.
Let's not make it. Let's not go crazy.
You're right. Okay, you're right. I was tripping. Let's admit, I was tripping. It's the Milagro. Listen, it's the tequila. I was tripping a little bit, just a little bit. But if you think about it, you look at the bowl records. SEC still held their own with all the opt outs and everything. A lot of these teams brought they full rosters. SEC still held their own. Kalen DeBoer is a great coach. He knows how to win games. He knows how to ski up winning.
Here comes old numbnuts number 2, J-Day.
All right.
Talk about Longhorns will be SEC champs. I love
the
it.
brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Them
You just muted yourself, Coach. Hey, I'm gonna let Brinsky get in here anyway. He ain't had to say anything yet.
Oh man,
Brinsky be laughing at him.
Man, I just wanted to come up here because I wanted to
It looked like he
shit about this clown down at LS Who.
Yeah.
That was trying to say. Just want to
please do.
Brinsky, did you hold on about Brinsky, before you start? Did you just put the baby to bed?
Oh man, she go to bed every night 7 o'clock.
Look, he feeling good now, y'all. Jason, we got the best part of B Sharp. We got the best part right now. So let's enjoy this. Go ahead, bro. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, man. I'm just happy to see this clown look stupid. He trying not to acknowledge all the Bama fans that been adding him on Twitter, but this clown doesn't know nothing about football. I don't know how ESPN gave him a job about that little show he got down there in Baton Rouge. But hey, man, you see my guy, Elite 11 MVP, not bad for a 3-star. That's what they say.
Back-to-back national high school championships too. Just so
right, not even that. He's a 2-time state national state championship winner in the state of Texas.
Right,
and he's had his one national championship title not under his belt, going to his second state state championship.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the real deal.
Bryce Young didn't even do that. Bryce Young did not do that, y'all.
That's all I'm going to say is this: you can say whatever you want about these kids, but when they went to and they played in a Texas 6A program, and he's lost one football game in 30 games in Texas 6A. Yeah, you shouldn't call him a 3-star. Should not call the kid a 3-star.
I think he's the most decorated quarterback come out of Texas since Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
he said he's coming for Kyler Murray.
Not only quarterback, Kyler Murray was one of the most decorated baseball players, shortstops. Right, I think he played shortstop in right field, if I'm not mistaken.
Center fielder.
Okay, I mean, like Kyler Murray could have came out of high school and been a first-round MLB pick.
He was top 10. He was top 10 his last year at Oklahoma. He was a top 10 Major League Baseball pick, and he went number 1 in the draft in the NFL draft.
To the A's.
Oh. Come on, man.
He's on the warning track, bro.
So with Russell pulling that same type of hype, and I think Coach can kind of contest, not contest, but he can kind of relate to this. Like when you get guys that are highly ranked, Keelan Russell is a top ranked basketball recruit right now. Like he's top 50 in the state of Texas as a basketball recruit. And he's on this track team. He's on Duncanville track 4x1 team.
And guys, you know, when you have these kinds of athletes, they can play any damn sport they want to play.
Come on now.
Because they're athletes. And not everybody has that gene pool in them that they could compete every sport and be the best in that sport. And he definitely is that type of kid. And he's not only has he proven it up to this point, he's going to prove it again this next season, and he's going to prove it in college as well.
They're nasty too at Duncanville right now. Nasty everywhere. Yeah.
Running back, they got a defensive end edge that Alabama's looking at. They got another receiver that and we're not talking about just the young man what his name is said. What it was, Brinsky?
Y'all can't touch him right now today, Trojan Fight. What are you talking about?
Duncan's still getting nightmares from what? Go back to that. Duncan's
from the beating they took in their own state. He's talking. That's the one loss he's got is against Duncan. Is against Mater Dei.
But the thing is, that
was 2 years ago, by the way.
Exactly.
He was a freshman,
but he didn't start that game. That was the game he came in and really
that's the one he did. But he was a freshman.
A freaking freshman. This kid was basically playing 8th grade ball. He never played JV ball at Duncanville. He has been a freshman. He's been a varsity player since he's been at Duncanville.
Funny.
Mm-hmm. Get your ass on the plane, brother. come on over to Duncanville, Texas,
He
and the
says kids of the
Panthers
modern day,
will
if they
whip
wanna go to
your
college,
ass.
I don't, you know what? And I'm from Phoenix City, Alabama. Central Phoenix City High School is where I graduated. Central Phoenix City. They're nationally starting to get some national recognition. They got plenty of players. Red Morgan is a true freshman right now on the Alabama roster. He came from Central Phoenix City. He's going to be a starter in that Alabama defense, right? Sia Faga, another kid from Central Phoenix City. Mal Wardrop just committed to Alabama, interior offensive lineman, class of 25, 3-star, but he's going to be a 4-star, 5-star by the end of his senior year. Just committed to Alabama. Central Phoenix City is a talent pool. Red Morgan comes in and shows up and turns up. I don't think Central Phoenix City could mess with Duncanville right now. And Central got a talented roster. They got kids going Clemson, Auburn, Alabama, Notre Dame.
I'm gonna have to answer this real quick.
Oh shit! Go ahead.
If not for Oklahoma, Texas kids wouldn't win anything. They couldn't do it in their own state, bro. They're not going to do it in their own state.
And Coach Smook said it earlier too. Was Texas Texas is a huge ass state. I mean, it could be multiple states. It is a huge state. Texas players go everywhere. Bryce Young was at Alabama. Texas, everybody. Matthew Stafford was at Georgia. All of these guys. Texas produces a shit ton because Texas football. Listen.
It matters.
Do you know how your stadium looks on game day, Trojan? You know how it's like all empty? That's what the towns in Texas look like on game day. It's all empty because everybody's at the game.
Empty.
I guarantee you, the high schools in Texas have more people in the stands than they get at the USC games.
Listen,
and let me tell, and I want to mention one more thing. Ben G. Don't ask me a stupid ass question, Benji. Do I know about Duncanville? I said it earlier. The guy that coached on my staff at Skyline High School is the athletic director there. So I think I know about as much about Duncanville as you might, know about your own ass.
I love that energy, Coach. I ain't gonna lie.
Coach Roybal went and took over at a program at Dallas Skyline that hadn't beaten Dallas Carter in 30 years.
And won that shit. Blew their ass out.
Beat them up forever after that. They beat them up.
Did you not blow their ass out, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
We did
in their house.
And this is Dallas Carter, the same Friday Night Lights movie that y'all got saved on y'all Netflix favorites list. He was the one that put them out the fucking. I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, Coach James was the head coach at Dallas Carter. He's the one in the movie. Yeah, Freddie James. Great coach, great guy,
great recruiter.
But I got it. Oh yeah, great recruiter. but I will tell you, when the first season I came to Skyline, after the ball game, walk across the field, and coach says, "Welcome to the neighborhood." And, what could I say? Kick my ass. But 3 years later, I got to walk across the field and say, hey, I'm kind of starting to like the neighborhood, Coach. First time in 35 years. And I got to tell you guys, and y'all know this, Texas high school football is incredible football. Especially when you're talking about
is JUCO D2, D3 level football. And
it is.
And I was stuck in Killeen, Texas. I got to watch Killeen, Carper's Cove when Robert Griffin was a senior. When he was a senior, I got to see. You get what I'm saying?
Tommy Harris was a Killeen guy.
Exactly. Shoemaker, all those teams, Belton. Who else was coming? The smaller schools from like lower Dallas area. I can't remember them by name, but I was able to see this at my apartment, my place, my townhome where I lived at. Was across from the stadium that Killeen plays at.
Yeah.
So I would sit on my I would climb out my little window, the front porch rooftop. I would put my little lawn chair on that rooftop and watch the games. Killeen High School, which is in Texas, it's a 3A school. Killeen High School, I believe, right now is a 3A school. They don't have many highly touted, but they play other schools that have highly touted prospects, and they come in and they have a mega. Texas does high school football different. So when you come to Texas, you don't look at the classification. You kind of just take the talent for what it is, because it don't matter what classification, you're going to see talent. Drew Sanders.
They play them from everywhere. What I remember Texas with when they had the guy that came after Vince. He was at
McCoy. Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy. Yeah, 2A.
He was a Texas kid. And he does. If he doesn't get hurt against Alabama, we're talking a different story with Coach Saban's legs. Hey, be sharp. Tell the truth.
Ryan Tannehill, same way. Ryan Tannehill went to a 2A, 3A school as well.
Another Texas kid. But be sharp. You right there with me. If we don't put McCoy out that game, it's a different game. We might win by 2.
We're gonna win.
We're gonna win, but it's a different game, bro. Don't play like McCoy wasn't that dude, because he played in the highest classification in Texas ball.
That's cool. I seen what he did against Sioux in Nebraska.
Now, come on,
Sharp,
that defense. I mean, that defense was legit. That might have been one of the better college defenses, of that decade. But they had no offense. It was like a Lincoln Riley reverse.
Exactly, and that's what that Texas Bama game would have been different because of that. I'm telling you, and I'm a Bama fan through and through. We would have won. I feel like we would have won.
Getting off like that, just imagine what. Don't worry.
Come on, bro.
But guess what? Hey. If an if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk.
Yes. You're right.
If these ifs carried any weight, Texas would be something.
Texas would be 6-7 time national championship winners. Like if ifs mattered, you know what I'm saying? Texas, Ohio State, USC, all of these teams, and they get this hype. And this is what I want to propose to the panel. What blue blood team is actually going to live up to the hype coming into this 25 season? This is a season where you losing Harbaugh, you losing Saban. You see a lot of major moves from upcoming coaches going to these programs and assuming these positions. Who's the team to watch really in college football outside of Alabama, Oklahoma,
Notre Dame?
No, y'all think Notre Dame?
Notre Dame, they better be in the playoff situation, or coach is going to be in trouble.
Freeman, you think Freeman's in trouble this year?
If he doesn't, with that schedule, if they don't get to the playoff, Coach Freeman's ass is in trouble.
Let me pull the schedule up because we got to talk about this.
Coach you go ahead and say it, right?
I see you shaking your head, man. I see you shaking your head. What's up? Talk to me.
No, he's not in trouble. He's.
If they don't get to the playoff, he's not in trouble, Coach.
I don't think he is. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be taken very well, obviously. But I don't think he's in trouble.
I'm not saying they would fire him, but he would enter the next season and pretty.
He would have some heat. He would have some heat.
You gotta let him get his guy quarterback. He hasn't had that guy.
No, he hadn't had his guy quarterback yet, and we're still a year away from that. Even with what we have right now.
I was gonna tell him to get old boy back, Ty Buckner. Ty Buckner.
Now Buckner's back on the team. You know that, right?
No, I thought that boy was on a lacrosse team.
He did. He came and played lacrosse, and he came back and sat down and asked Freeman if he could be on the team. Freeman talked to some of the players, leadership, and they let him back on the team, but not as a quarterback. He's gonna attempt to play receiver, which the guy's a good athlete. He's got some speed. He ain't no damn quarterback. I can guarantee you that. Y'all know that at Alabama, just like we do at Notre Dame.
We know very well.
Yeah. And I y'all heard me talking about it when he went over there. Him and our reject coordinator that went over there.
Reese, that joker had Reese had that boy out there skipping rocks.
I knew that.
He had that boy out there skipping rocks, and I hate it for him because my thing is I never believed in Ty Buckner. I looked at his play at Notre Dame and I was like, "Come on,
hell, he was shit." I mean, as player at Notre Dame.
Coach, hey, Coach, time out. We gotta ask, Coach. I need your clauses and your NDAs and all that file stuff because you be telling it like it is, man. What do they tell you when you come to these coaches and these ADs and you tell it like it is? What do they say to you? Because I'm curious.
You know, the bottom line is you speak the truth in what you believe in, and you know what? Just because I say it doesn't make it right.
True.
But I tell it the way I see it. And, you know, hell, you may see it through different eyes. And a lot of those guys are going to see it through their eyes. And so, again, though, but I tell you what, I having spent 35 years in coaching at the high school and collegiate level, I had enough respect out of a lot of these guys. That's just like yesterday. I take my grandson to the suck-ass Texas Tech football camp. But you know, it was a football camp.
Hey, Coach, so, what did I say to you? What did I say to you before you went?
Oh God, what was I don't remember.
Said, watch out that he don't get.
Get the same catch their disease over there.
He don't get Texas Tech.
They be acting up. They be acting up, Brisket. I ain't even gonna lie, Bree. I ain't gonna. They be
but anyway, I take him to the camp and I walk in, and who's the first person we see? You know, we see the head coach, which he looks up and sees me. Yeah, and he says, "Hey, Coach Roy Ball, I hadn't seen you in several years." And you know, and it's the relationships that I've built with those guys. They've always been honest with me. I'm honest with them. And again, we can agree to disagree. But, you know, hell, just be honest about things. And, again, you're going to piss a lot of people off, which, you know what? Guess what? I don't give a shit if it pisses them off. I mean, that's my version. You take your version, and let's see what comes out at the end. I mean, let's be honest. So it's all good. It's fun.
So check this out, coaches, and this is everybody on the panel. We got Texas A&M, Northern Illinois, Purdue, and Miami. I like to do 4-week breakdowns. You usually get 12 games in your regular season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like to do it in quarters. First quarter, they got Texas A&M. To me, Notre Dame has the opportunity to be 3-1 out of this first quarter.
And I tell you what, very easily 4-0.
4-0 because A&M, I don't have no faith in A&M, so I would say 4-0 with you.
They're going to have to show them first.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, and I agree, Coop. I agree with you 100%.
I'm talking about A&M, Coach. I'm talking about A&M.
Oh, okay. No. Well, and I'm talking about right now, guys, I want to tell you, that first game of the season, my asshole is tight. You couldn't drive a 10-penny nail up my ass with a jackhammer because I you know, again,
that's one way to
we're probably playing. Well, I think we're playing a middle of you know the SEC teams. I think we're playing a middle of the pack kind of team. But at the end of the day, it's a tough place to play at A&M.
It is.
And guys, they have a great defensive front. I now believe they have a football coach, which I don't. You know, we all know they didn't have that.
Grown up. They got a grown up there now. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a grown up exactly. And so that game worries me. But looking at this, the first 4 games of the schedule, we could be 3-1, 4-0.
Oh man,
you guys calm down over there.
The coach.
Jay, I can't even lie, Jason. I don't know why you allow this, bro. I don't know why you chose to host this. I'm sorry, bro. I've been trying to be professional.
Just so you understand something, I have zero control over Coach Roy Ball. Zero.
I love it too, man. When he came on, I knew. You know what? I said it earlier.
I had to make a choice. It was either let him be on this show and say whatever the hell he wants, or not have him on the show. I love him. He's gonna be
here.
Oh my God.
I told you earlier when I seen you smiling, cool. I said it, didn't I? When I seen him smirking,
yep.
because we don't get to see who pops in, right? We don't get to see who pops in. I heard the notification, like somebody popped in. He started smirking. He was like, "Let me get this set up." Like he started typing. He wasn't even talking to us, Coop. It was just me and you talking. He didn't even. When I seen the face pop, I said, this about to be a damn show. This about to be a doggone show." And bro, you have lived up. Oh my God, I love it. And B, he ain't no better than me. I don't know how to. My on camera composure is trash. I have if we was doing NCAA ratings, my junk is like a 37, bro. Like you know how for a quarterback you want that accuracy to be like an 80 at minimum. My junk is like a 37 when it comes to Coach Roy.
You're too funny.
He telling like I swear I be wanting to say the same thing, but y'all.
Hey, you got him. You got your $20 worth right there, chicken. Just right
exactly, 100%, bro. That's why. But 4-0, these guys can really go 4-0. Notre Dame, and then you talk about the rest of the schedule: Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy. I mean, they can go.
You know the game that scares me out of that group right there, and Louisville a little bit because of what happened last year, but I think that was Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's the one that scares me.
They're really changing their identity. They really have invested in that for the last 2 years, and it's bitten them in the ass a little bit. But overall, they're catching up with college football, and Georgia Tech has recruited a lot of talent over the years.
Right. I agree. But that one scares me a little bit. And again, we got to see, what does Florida State really look like, at the end of the day. And then again, we finished the season with my boy Lincoln Riley, that we handed his Heisman Trophy winner an ass whooping last year.
And Notre Dame has a chance to go really like 10-2, 11-1 because of this schedule. Like and I'm not
schedule's like
worse, I think. Yeah.
What'd you say, bro?
I said I think they need to go 11-1 with this schedule.
They should. There's no reason why. And I think everybody thinks the loss maybe come against A&M, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I said Florida State.
Yeah.
But to me, Florida State, I don't trust them. I don't trust Florida State's defense. They lost too much in the portal on defense.
Right. And I told you on your show
on defense. They gained a lot on offense.
My concern with Florida State, and just, full disclosure, I'm a fan of the Uyunglele family. Big Dave been on the show multiple times. We love DJ.
Yeah.
Boy, trash.
Hey.
I love him. But he's trash.
Hey, you cannot come in here and take shots at my boy DJ, bro. You just can't do it.
I love him.
I can't allow it. I love what allow it. Coach Smoot, don't do that. Don't do that.
Jason, I'm gonna tell you this, Jason. I love when he was at St. John's Bosco. I love when he took the other kid's spot as a sophomore.
He took shot. You know what? He's taking all the heat for Dabo being trash. Don't call him trash,
but DJ has made some horrible decisions as a quarterback. I don't care about the play
games, and I think that he would sit here and tell you that he's had bad games. I will tell you that.
But let me talk to him.
He turned it around when he got to Oregon State. And I'm going to tell you another thing. When he gets down to Florida State this year, they have a bad culture, in my opinion. They got a problem with their culture, in my opinion.
And that's why
I think they do with the guys that they brought in. You talking about putting DJ with Roydell Williams, and I think Roydell Williams was very underutilized at Bama.
Okay. What else they got? They don't have the same. They don't have the guys that they had last year.
That offensive line, the OT transfers, the tackle. I forget his name, but the tackle transfer that they got.
They better look. I know they went and got beat by 60 in the Orange Bowl.
That's sad.
That's a hard thing to overcome, no matter what's going on with that program.
That's sad.
I think the early part of their schedule is going to be important that Florida State plays great football early on if they're going to make any kind of a run. And again, at this point, I'm not sold on that, and that's why I still don't think that that's one of our tougher games. I'm going to take Georgia Tech over that. And I'll tell you this, guys, I believe this too. I believe if Leonard Riley stays healthy, we're going to have a hell of a football team, because y'all know this, not last year, but the year before, with the kind of season that he had. He was being talked about already in the NFL. And if he has that kind of season, we've got a chance to be pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. I forgot
And-
y'all
and
did.
I would say
have,
I
y'all
would,
do have
I
Leonard
would,
Riley.
yeah, I would say this about Florida State, though. I mean, they start out the season with Georgia Tech, and I think that's going to be that's going to be an ending on how that season goes, because if you lose that game, that's a tough comeback. But then also, you got a middle of the season. They go at SMU, which has a football team.
At SMU is a
got
tough game right there.
Then you got Clemson at home, at Duke, at Miami, then North Carolina, at Notre Dame. I mean, that's a tough 6-game stretch.
Brutal.
And I tell you what, if you have a soft culture and you have a culture issue, that's where that thing blossoms into a full-blown firing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All that talk that we kept hearing too about how great their culture is at Florida State. But if that was the case, you would have. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you, Coach
to the game
must be flipping in his grave for them to act the way they did before the Orange Bowl, and act like it didn't matter. When you're going up against the back-to-back 2-time champions, and you can't even show up. Come on, man. I don't want to hear about how great the culture is down in Tallahassee when that's going on. My problem, and this is my concern, with the respect that I have for DJU and his dad, Big Dave. Hey, that's all respect. I'm afraid that he's going to go down there and get blamed when they do have issues in the secondary, when they do have issues with culture, and they got a bunch of guys that are just simply, hey man, they're just buying players to come in for a season. They're mercenaries. It's a mercenary culture. That's the problem to me.
And the same thing at Ole Miss too, is you get that mercenary culture. I just don't believe in, and it's long before transfer portal and NIL and everything, where I became a massive disbeliever in the mercenary culture was way back in the day. And man, I want to say it's maybe 2000 when the Washington Redskins, they went after LeVar Arrington, Deion Sanders. They brought in all these guys who were back into their career, and it's just hard, especially in college, when you play within a system and you need culture and you need guys coaching guys, and you don't have a lot of me guys out there, and that's a hard thing to overcome.
Yep. Hey, yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of stuff to overcome. They didn't have, and all you got to do is look back at Clemson, and now it's all of a sudden it's a Cade Klubnik problem too. Both of these guys were number one in the country, both of these guys, and they're not using the portal at Clemson, but it's a Cade Klubnik problem, and it was a DJU problem. Make it make sense, folks. You got to make it make sense. If we're going to attack these kids, and not Dabo for the way that he's running things, Dabo even brings in Garrett Riley and won't let him do anything with his offense. Won't let him change it at all. You got to make it make sense, folks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not saying that DJ hasn't brought on some of it himself. He has, and I promise you that Big David tell you the same thing. Big David tell you the same thing. They don't have the same weapons that Jordan Travis had down there. They don't.
No.
We're gonna find out. Folks, we appreciate everybody coming in here. Kimberly Harmon, thank you for showing up in here. We appreciate that a lot.
Hit the like.
Make sure everybody hits the like on every channel that we're on right now. We are on Coach Smook's AAA channel as well, on the Coach Smook Network. We are on the Hall of Fame Sooners Network. Did you put us on Unfair as well there, Coop?
No, I don't do stuff like that. If I have to do button pushing and stuff like that, things go sideways.
It's more than you want to do. If you're not already subscribed though to Unfair Sports with Coop and of course Jay Smith, they do an unbelievable job, right? Unbelievable job. So you guys make sure you get over there and take a look at them as well. Of course, we got Sharpshooter on here also. He's at over 500, but we want to get him to 1,000 subs sooner than later. So make sure you jump over there to the Sharpshooter podcast.
So sub here.
Yeah.
We're moving at a fast pace right now, past 500. We're at 520.
Woo, that's what
But I ain't trying to jinx myself. The last time I said something, it took a minute.
It takes a minute sometimes.
That's the way it happens.
Yeah,
it goes in spurts.
It's kind of hard to build it. It's kind of hard to build it in the off season. But we're 49 away from 3,500 subscribers. So we are hoping that we can hit that 3,500. It would be great if we went 500 more and hit 4,000 before the start of the
this weekend.
That'd be great. It'd
be awesome to be over 4,000.
I do want to comment to Trojan Fight. He was talking about one of our players that at Notre Dame that was recruited, a good one, by the way, that said that God told him to go to Notre Dame. You missed the fact there, buddy. He said God told him, whatever you do, don't go to USC. So just making sure you understood the facts there.
Facts.
Go wherever the heck you want to go. Just don't go to USC.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that, Carlo. Great panel tonight. We appreciate all that, man. Love all you guys, and thank you for coming in. All the AAA fam, all the folks from
it's great having everybody
from our audience as well, man. The Hall of Fame Mafia family is second to none. The Unfair Sports folks that are in here as well, they're probably most of those Unfair Sports folks are part of the Hall of Fame Mafia family as well. So we appreciate that a lot. But yeah. Make sure that you hit that like button no matter what. We got a couple more things we can talk to. We can pop to a few more things, and then we're going to probably get out of here. So let's talk. Coach Smook kind of got us there. Let's talk.
Coach Smook went to go get tequila. Hell.
Listen, I didn't go to get the tequila this time. I had to let my boy, I got my dog, Art, come here. My boy Art, man, he think he a human. I don't know if y'all got pets or
we do.
Children at home.
You got a human?
I have two, Coach. I have two. Damn many.
Oh yeah, you got the worst. They think they can talk to you. I got one. He's a Mastiff and Ridgeline mix, right?
Ooh. So I got an American Bulldog. It's 130 pounds. I know where you're going with this one.
Okay, wow. So Art is about. Yeah, Art is about 80 pounds, 85 pounds. He's not extra huge, but he's so long and for real, he might be my like pet son in real life because he's long, lanky, but he's lean. Like he's muscular everywhere, like me. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying. But the difference between me and Art is Art doesn't react to stuff like he should, right? Like the garage door is open. Why are you not at the front door, Art? He's up here asleep still. I'm like, bro, the garage door is opening. Mom's home. You should be excited. So me and Art, but he need to go outside and he has a way of communicating that to me. And so I had to make sure I get my boy outside. Yeah, it's different.
I love it. It's different. Good stuff.
Sounds like my son.
Right. You forget that they are dogs sometimes. You forget. And we walking and I'm talking to him like, Art, this show is lit. Why are you holding me up? And he looking at me like, yeah, Pops, I see you going crazy. Like, keep going. Like, nah, but you out here trying to sniff what everybody else done pissed on your trees about. Real like,
thanks for coming in, Coach I. We will see you on Saturday. I already brought it up once, but we're going to bring it up again for that Saturday night snap count.
I can't wait to get on with, bro.
That. We're going to have a lot of fun Saturday night snap count. Season 3 starts Saturday night at
Coop, you got a fresh fade.
Time, man. We excited.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That thing is fresh. Hold up, Jay. I'm sorry. Coop got
looking good.
Hold up. Can you main screen him real quick? That junk is fresh.
Look at
Coop,
that.
Where you stay at? Where you live at right now, Coop?
I live in Tulsa. So I'm up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got a place called Tom's Men's Grooming, and my boy Justin Moore owns it. And man, I get free haircuts just to pimp the shop. And man, my girl's named Dahlia. My girl's named Dahlia. She's been cutting my hair for 9 years. And I went in to try this place out, and I was like, I'm just really not feeling it. Like, I'm a super cuts type of guy. Just get in, get out, and get it done. And second time I came back, she remembered stuff that we talked about, my kids' names and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, from now on, we're good. So it's
That's
but yeah, no, that's
clutch. That
and if I go outside tomorrow, I'm gonna get burned though.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, because of my barber past and my barber history, my cousin, he's one of the top barbers out here in the Southeast. But I was looking at the fade, I was like, that's the fade. Like, that's a fade, bro. I might need to, when I come to Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying, just make sure I come talk to her. I guarantee she could hook me up. You know, I got the dreads and stuff, but I'm shaved on the side. She could hook me. If she could hook me up like that, we good.
Hey man, you can ride with me, and you can even drink beer while you're getting your haircut.
Don't you talk that talk to me.
Yeah.
We gonna got 3-4 cases in the trunk. Tell them be sharp. I don't play.
Troublemaker. See what happens. That's what happens.
Say you can't get that fade at Supercuts though.
You can't.
No, you cannot. And I'm just gonna say, I don't make.
It's got to be a real barber.
Sometimes. And I dove into the river about 10 years ago, and so I had 19 staples and 37 stitches in the top of my head. So I can't go much further down than this.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. She faded you. I was looking. I was like, this motherfucker. Did he go to the Boosie? Did he go to Boosie barber?
I can tell you right now. I better not see no black man in no Supercuts.
Ever. And listen, I was in Texas. I was in
white boys don't go there neither.
Hey, they don't. And you know what, Jay, you know what's crazy? None of my soldiers, every soldier that I had that was at Fort Hood, because Supercuts was the thing in Killeen. Like, they brought Supercuts there, they kept promoting, they tried to push all the other smaller bits. None of my soldiers ever went to do Supercuts. The one that did was a scout. And when he went to Supercut, he went to Supercuts to get his haircut before he went to the promotion board. And when he showed up at that promotion board, guess what? All the NCOs and all the officers that was in there supposed to be evaluating, guess what they said? Your haircut's jacked up.
Trash.
Your haircut is jacked up, son. Get out.
Trash.
Uniform was on point. They didn't care about the uniform, the measurements of the ribbons, and
boots shine starched up to a T, and you look like hell.
Yeah.
And I was in a cab unit. I was in a cab unit at that time, so we got to wear regular boots. We didn't have to shine airborne jump boots. We didn't have to shine the old leather boots. So they got a pass on the boots. This mug came in with, and they was on his haircut. I said, I will never send my soldiers to Super, because I sent them jokers to platinum barbers, Killeen, Texas. That's where I sent my platinum barbers. If y'all ever in Killeen, go check out Platinum Barbershop. They gonna get you straight. I promise you. But yeah, that fade clean, cool. And you know what, Sharp? I think he took his hat off to kind of show us up, because he seen I was struggling over here with my
No.
Don't show up not G'd up. Come on now.
My head was starting to hurt with the hat on all day.
All this Lincoln Riley mentioning started pissing you off, didn't it? Look.
Facts. Lincoln.
That's Jason. Yeah. He hates that man.
And Lincoln.
I think Jason hates Lincoln much as I hate PG. Sharp. As much as I hate PG, I think Lincoln. I think Jason.
Which PG?
PG over at Ole Miss now.
Oh,
DC over at Ole Miss. Yeah,
I'm about to say they have a PG.
Third and golden.
We're
talking about third and golden. We were like, oh, you can't be going after PG, our boy PG.
Nah. I'm talking about old Pete Golden. That mud boy, Lord have mercy.
Oh, third and Golding. That's all you got to say. Third and Golding. We get it.
Man, he ain't even third and Golden, because third and Grantham was better than Golden. Like, he was better.
That's just what we hear from Ty. They call him third and Golden quite a bit on Ty's show.
Ty hates Golden. Ty hates Golden more than I do, and I hate Golden. But my thing is, Golden had Dylan Moses, the best linebacker recruit out of the state of Louisiana in the past 20 years. And you capped this man. Then you had Christian Harris, who's the best athlete to come out of high school football. Yes. And he converted to linebacker and showed his potential. And you never could call a play to put him in the right position for him to showcase that. Ever. Then you get Henry To'oTo'o, who's a transfer, one of the best linebackers in the SEC for 2 years straight. You get him as a transfer. You know what I'm saying? And you make him look like he's like I Hugging Henry. I apologize right now on this Hall of Fame Jason podcast. Like I apologize, Henry, Hugging Toa because I see you doing your work at Texas in Houston with the Texans. I don't know what Pete Golden did to you, but I apologize. I'm sorry.
Hey, and I'm just saying, at one point, OU fans were totally stoked to either get Alex Grinch or Pete Golding.
Oh,
and
good Lord.
I think it goes the same way one way or the other.
Oh.
All right, so debate right now on the panel. Debate right now.
No, we ain't going there.
No, we got to because it's been said. And we're going to start with Brinsky. Pete Golden or Alex Grinch?
Oof.
Pete Gold.
Wait, worse? You would take over the other?
Who
you taking?
I don't even think that's a runaway. I'm taking Pete Golden.
Pete Golden. Pete Golden twice a day.
Oh,
shit. You just don't know.
Yeah, it's
you just don't know.
It's
I mean, that's how bad Grinch was. That speed D crap worked at Washington State, and then he got walked out. He got walked out of Ohio State. He came here, and he was an absolute joke. I mean, it's and I feel bad. Like Smoke, you said this earlier, and it's like I don't do this so that people can shout out at the movie theater, and I don't do this so that I can make extra money or anything like that. I do this because I love investing. I love bringing truth. And, when you're talking about the ESPN content and the Chad Simmons and the jackasses that just are out there and they're just putting out big game boomer quality lists, like that's not why I like it, because these kids are out there working their tail off. I don't care if you play for a crap program or not. And I'm talking about you have kids at USC, you have kids at Texas, you have kids at Texas A&M, you have kids everywhere. Right. And these kids are putting hours and hours and hours of work in. And if you cannot, if you can't be a decent coach and you can't do the right thing when it's right in front of you, I mean, listen, I've never coached football one day in my life, but that don't mean I can't see things. I got two eyes. Right. God gave me both of them. Mm-hmm. These glasses, I mean, I can see pretty well without them, but I'm just saying it's like for them to think that we're fools all the time. And you see these things. I mean, the Alex Grinch, I mean, he was, God bless, up there in Wisconsin, right? He's up on the Wisconsin staff now. So it's I mean, Alex Grinch was terrible.
Wisconsin, though, that's a culture, bro. And that's why I said with Alabama getting Colin Hitchler from Wisconsin, Mo Linquist from Buffalo, that's dangerous right there, right? Like you look at development wise, that's dangerous. And then you add the Alabama brand to it. It's not going to be hard for those guys. And that's what I've been saying, man. This 25, 26 class of Bama recruits of secondary guys. And I think B Sharp is probably more excited about it than I am because I'm a wide receiver guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm more on the offensive side. But I look at Juice. I look at Barney. I look at Lee. I look at, all of these secondary recruits that Alabama is starting to get. And then also the guys that they were able to retain, Smitty. Malachi Moore, you get Damani Jackson to commit before Saban retires, and he stays because of his staff, right? Then you get guys like Keon Sabb. Yo, Michigan they're going to be sick seeing Keon Sabb go in the first round. They're going to be sick.
And how many guys on Golding's staff or Grinch's staff, like Kool-Aid McKinstry, that guy should have been a top 10 pick. I mean, he still did decent, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you got guys like Perion Winfrey and Isaiah Thomas, all these cats on Oklahoma who just absolutely got misused.
Isaiah Thomas, talk about that, bro.
IT took 5 years to become IT, and really, I mean, these guys will not shit on Alex Grinch or Lincoln Riley still to this day, but Perion Winfrey will because he's got
Perion will,
but.
Yeah.
He's got a few, but how many of these dudes? Who's the linebacker that you said he was big?
Striker, right? It wasn't Striker.
No, Bama.
Blackshire.
Kendrick Blackshire was another one of them. But no, you guys have defensive ends playing linebacker that could have just been all world everything, but the defensive coordinator couldn't get out of the damn way.
Drew Sanders. Is that who you talking about? Drew Sanders?
You said his name. You say his name a few minutes ago.
Is he still there? Or is he gone?
He's gone.
Man, let me say Ian Jackson, Drew Sanders, Kendrick Blackshire, dang it.
3 years ago.
Dang it. Dylan Moses.
Moses. It was Dylan
Okay,
Moses.
No, you said Christian Harris.
Now Christian Harris and Dylan,
Christian Harris.
but both of them, man. Hey, Sharp, come on now, bro. You another former. You're biased Bama. Let's be real. We're biased Bama. Dylan Moses and Christian Harris, they should have been like the next Reuben Foster and Dylan, like Mac Wilson type junk, or come on, man, Mosley.
Coach, you fall out on this, Coach? Did you fall out for a second there, Coach? Did you pull a
No. I was looking at some things here.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay.
I just had to. I mean, and I'm thinking like Pete Golden is that bad, man. Dylan Moses,
he's not as bad as Grinch, though. There's no way.
He is not bad as Grinch.
No
way.
I mean,
ain't a damn way in hell. He learned from Saban at least. Come on now.
Okay, time out. Somebody put me on. Give me Grinch's history right now. Somebody,
I just give you a comparison.
Outside of personal feelings, give me Grinch's history, where he's been, time span he's been, and then that's all I need to know.
They'll give you that, but I would say Grinch would make Pete Golden look like Kirby Smart on defense.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Alex Grinch ran he was a defense coordinator at Washington State when Leach was there, and they played the speed.
That's his speed, bro. That's where he needed to be.
Yes, so that's where he needs to be. But he was playing a Texas Tech style defense where let's just be honest. When you went to when the spreads, and Coach, tell me if I'm dead wrong on this, but why people go to the spread and why people did the triple option and why they still do it is because lesser talents. And
right.
You go to the spread because of lesser talent. You can't hold up front. You can't have wide receivers who win one-on-ones. And so that's what he was trying to do at Oklahoma. He tried it at Ohio State, and he got bounced at Ohio State. They were happy to see him go. And they went from a defense that was showing out at Ohio State. He started being in there, and then it went south quick, and then he shows up here. And now, granted, we went up with Alex Grinch over Mike Stoops, and that's how bad that was.
So this is what I'm saying right here. Him at Wisconsin is definitely not going to translate. It's not going to produce any productivity because Wisconsin just don't have the means to compete in recruiting, right? They really have to lock down State. And
they got the guy they need up there, though. I think Luke Fickell does it everywhere. He should have been,
but you know what?
Ohio State's coach already. He should have
exactly, and that's the thing. Like I think Luke Fickell is getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
being stuck at Ohio State. I mean, at Wisconsin.
Well, I can't believe he took that job.
Right, like I think he should have stayed as a. Fickell was an OC before he took the job at Ohio State. I mean, Wisconsin, right? He was an OC, right? Generally offensive minded. Or was it DC?
Who's that? What'd you have?
Put me on game. I'm trying to remember. Was Fickell a defensive guy or offensive guy? Coordinator wise,
defensive guy.
Okay. I think Fickell should have looked into pushing for that Ohio State DC job more than trying to get a head coach job. Same thing with Billy Napier.
He was a head coach.
Urban bounced him when he got there.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Like, same thing with Napier. I think Napier would be doing so much better career wise, not as a coach, but career wise. As far as your resume, I think Napier would be doing so much better as an OC for any major program that's buzzing right now. I feel like Napier could be that guy, and then being in that system wherever the winning program is. Like if he would have been an OC at Bama, which I think he would have fit in. He would if Napier would have took the OC job at Bama this year, even with Saban retiring, I think Kalen DeBoer would have been like, you know what? I'll keep you, Napier. I'll keep you as my OC. We'll fight for you to get your raise, right? And we'll bring Shep, we'll bring Sheridan, we'll bring Cap, we'll bring all these guys under you as your coordinator because you have a good offensive mind. You don't know how to manage a team just as good yet, but you got an offense. And this is what college football is becoming, y'all. This is what college football is coming. You got to go out and get guys who understand, okay, I'm an offensive guy, I'm a defensive guy. This is what I need. This is guys an offensive line guy.
No doubt.
It didn't have to be that for up until the NIL. It didn't have to be that up until NIL. So that's
and that's when you start looking at Lincoln. That's what we were saying is that the problem with Lincoln is he's saying all the right things out there, right? He's saying all the right things. He hired the right guys, but then you stop short and don't get rid of the strength and conditioning guy, which is a big problem. A big problem.
Huge problem.
The biggest problem.
Look at Coop. He was ready to jump on that.
Jump on that one.
No. I was just saying Fickle was at Cincinnati when they went to the playoffs. He's already head coach. But he's DC. But I agree with that because you look at guys and you wonder, like, are you really cut for and I'm going to say Jeff Lebby. I mean, I don't think Jeff Lebby's ready to run a program yet.
But he would be a great offensive coordinator, though, right?
Yes. Well, I'll back down on great offensive coordinator.
I was going to go there. They didn't think he was at Oklahoma.
No, we were very ready for him to leave.
I know. That's why I was going to let him have.
I think he was handcuffed during that. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna stand by it. I know y'all Oklahoma followers and y'all inside, but I think Lebby was definitely handcuffed at Oklahoma. I think he was handcuffed. Same thing I said with Sarkisian. Under Saban, Sarkisian was handcuffed. Like, Sarkisian was just bold enough to say, "You, Coach Saban. This is what I want Jalen or Tua to do," and that's what he did. Like, and Kiffin has maintained that same persona.
He's better as a coordinator as well, though.
Kiffin is one of those guys where I think him being the head coach.
Sark, bro. Sark.
Oh yeah, Sark too. But Kiffin too. I think both of those guys right now and what college football has become.
Lebby wasn't handcuffed enough.
If you look at what college football has become now, Kiffin and Sarkisian could be your highest paid offensive coordinators in the game right now. Same thing with Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning could be the highest paid defensive coordinator right now in the game right now. Yeah. But college football, collective, and all that stuff limits what a coordinator and an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator can be paid. My thing is, why are we forcing the guys into the head coaching jobs? It's killing them. Lincoln Riley's being killed right now. If Lincoln Riley was the offensive coordinator, we would not be on his shit right now. We would not be dogging him right now if he was an offensive coordinator.
You know why? Because Nick, you look, there was Coach Stoops made him run the football. In fact, he helped Lincoln be a better offensive play caller by the way he made him run the football. Because Lincoln is the first one out of those Leach guys that learned to run north and south in the air raid.
Be sharp. You said it the other night when we was talking.
He was that guy, but he forgot about it last year, though. He forgot about it last year. He's got a kid that was, by PFS standards, he was the number one running back in the country, and he got 10 carries a game. Had 111 carries on the season. That's not even 10 carries a game. It's unbelievable. And I mean, to have a guy like that that's finally healthy, this was the problem with Lincoln. But Lincoln, look, they tried to do all that and bring in, like Mike Stoops was not Coop was bringing that up a second ago. That was the problem for Mike, was that he wasn't the same without having Brent Venables in the room with him. And that was clear whenever you sent him to Arizona and he couldn't handle the job. He couldn't handle the job.
Right.
So, Bob actually brings him back and wants to have the same issue. This is the reason that BV left and went to Clemson, which, you know what? Perfect thing for Venables to do. He needed to go learn a different way and have his own autonomy as far as being the defensive coordinator. But the one thing that I've said this a bunch, and I've been wanting to ask Coop what he thinks about this, and Coach too. To me, I've wanted to see Oklahoma and Coach Venables he's given too much autonomy. He gave way too much autonomy to Jeff Lebby. I don't want to see that anymore. It's your record. You need to have your hands in it and say, this is the game plan that we have. This is how we're going to do it. I don't want them to. You can't give complete autonomy to that side of the ball. You just can't.
So I fully in my headset died, so I'm gonna switch over here. But I fully believe that at the end of this past year, Levy was encouraged to take a head coaching job, and the losses this year on Oklahoma and damn near the SMU game. I mean, Jeff Levy was a major factor in the play. Now, I think Dylan Gabriel, as great as he showed out, like he did have limitations on his physical talent. That's why Oklahoma fans are really excited about Jackson Arnold because, I mean, the arm talent's just two different things. You go from, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield to, Dylan Gabriel, and Dylan Gabriel does not have an NFL arm. He doesn't have NFL size. And so he didn't have that capability. But it just the offense in general just was such a catastrophe all year long. And so I think that he says, I think that was the big thing was, what's going on? We were running jet sweeps when we shouldn't be running jet sweeps. I mean, it was just, now we had a top offense in the league. So I'm not going to say that like, that's how good it was. I mean, somebody brought it up in the chat a second ago. It's like, you said Pete Golding versus Alex Grinch. Well, Pete Golding had Alabama talent on defense and Alex Grinch had Lincoln Riley's defense, talent. And so that's probably where you see Pete Golding is much worse is because if you put Pete Golding with Oklahoma's talent, I mean, this joker doesn't have a job in football currently.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. About to hop off there. Hey, Brinsky, you got to hop?
Yeah.
Okay, man. We appreciate you popping in here. I know you didn't get a whole lot of words in edgewise, but we love you. Glad to see you here, man.
Hey, you know what? I was about to say that Brinsky don't ever. You know what I love about Brinsky? He don't ever push to freaking put his shit out there. But when he do say something, it's one of them things. And it's his fault that we even got turned on to this subject like this. If y'all think about it, rewind it, stream, and think about what Brinsky said and how he turned. And that's why I've been, Sharpshooter Podcast. I'm telling you, if y'all are not tuned into how they freaking cover NBA, NFL, college football, and everything, y'all are missing out. I'm telling y'all, Sharpshooter. I don't know if Jason was. Jay, right? He a dog, right? Like it's almost scary. Like you know, if I was selfish, if I wasn't trying to freaking just build the industry, I would not promote this food because he really is a dog in this shit. Like, bro, you will minimize me for real. If I was scared, but I love what you do, I enjoy what you do. So,
and man, if you like NBA talk, that's the place to hang.
That's
right
him. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I watch his. Absolutely. I don't even care to cover the Lakers because I'll go and watch him. He gonna test my boys. He gonna test.
Hey, what does NBA stand for?
Oh, stop it! Mute him. Hey, Brinsky, you and I need to have a conversation about the. I want to tell me what you think about the Caruso-Giddey trade because I mean, as a Thunder fan. Mm-hmm. I mean, we get an all NBA defensive player exchange for a guy that you couldn't play in the playoffs. And Caruso may not be a regular season guy, but he's one of those dudes. And it's dope. But I want to hear your thoughts on that. And then JJ Redick, I mean, do you think he's got a Steve Kerr type of a pathway, or do you think it's bogus?
Well, I'll start with
Brisky.
Start with Caruso.
Brisky. Listen, I'm gonna whisper. When you get done, pass it to me because I'm gonna tell
We're gonna get to this one right here though too. I like this question from Anthony Manzano too. So we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna start and come right back to it. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm about to say Caruso. I like Giddey, but Caruso can play defense and give you offense at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think y'all got to steal out the trade, and especially just being straight up from what I see.
No draft picks,
and then y'all keep y'all 30 first round draft picks, so y'all good on that. Mm-hmm. But the JJ Redick thing, it's pretty much just LeBron just coaching. It's just an extension of LeBron. That's all it is. JJ just another scapegoat. That's all it is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm gonna ask y'all to pass it to me.
I give it a D- higher.
I'm gonna ask y'all to pass to me and act like I didn't know y'all was gonna pass it to me. Okay,
go.
Smoot, I want to hear what you have to say, Smoot.
Oh, Smoot. Oh, yeah. Listen, as a 20+ year, 30 shoot, 92. So what's this? 24? So I got 30 years in this thing. I remember watching the Lakers in 92, right? When the Lakers signed LeBron James, and you can go 2 years ago and look at the tweet I posted. Worst decision ever. When you bring LeBron into your organization with how media controls everything, you're not winning. You're not winning. You're not winning. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is,
street clothes Davis didn't help either.
Listen,
Definitely.
This JJ Redick hire doesn't sit well with me, and I went public.
JJ,
and I don't. That's crazy. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Jason? You know what's crazy, B? You know what's crazy, Coach? You know what's crazy, Coop? I played against JJ Redick. I played against JJ Redick at an AU tournament in Orlando, 2008. 2007 going into 2008. I played against JJ Redick.
Yeah. How was it?
And I dropped 14 on him. Derrick Rose was definitely the man of that tournament, though. He dropped 47 on me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Derrick Rose is a bad dude, bro.
Derrick Rose,
I'm gonna get out of here.
look,
All
B.
We
All right,
appreciate you,
B.
Appreciate y'all as
Have a good night,
always.
man.
For sure, man.
Oh yeah.
See you, brother.
But that baby,
Lindsey
she
Sharp
done
from
rolled
the
over.
Sharpshooter
She done-
podcast.
She done rolled over on him. Sharpshooter podcast. He got a newborn, y'all. Shout out to his newborn, man. She healthy, beautiful baby.
Beautiful
man.
baby. Yeah.
Man, did you?
Man, he's a
Jace,
good
you
dude,
seen
man.
it?
Love me some Brinsky Sharp, man.
Oh yeah, that's my brother, man. And you know it's crazy. It took me so long to connect with him because of where I was, but I had been trying to. Jason, you was one of the guys I was trying to get on the other side. You know what I'm saying? When I was on the other channel, I mean,
Really?
yeah, man.
I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Unfair. Ty put me on to everybody, and I was like, man, we need this over on this side where I'm working right now. We need that. Like that'll be the explosion. But pump it. But anyways, yeah, JJ Redick hire to to the Lakers. That crap is a joke, man. There's no way that you put any respect on like. And I'm not disrespecting JJ. I'm not disrespecting AJ, but he ain't been on no analyst. He ain't been no assistant coach.
No, they just think that they're gonna. To me, this is a situation kind of the same that you had with Chauncey. Chauncey never coached anywhere. Same with Jason Kidd. Never coached anywhere. They just want it because they respect the guy. And I think that you respect JJ Redick to some extent. If LeBron likes him, fine. But I think you're right about it. I think it's a matter of trying to. LeBron don't listen to nobody anyway. He's the coach, de facto head coach.
Yeah.
So to me, that's where you're at on that. But to me, I would think that, yeah, JJ's not. He's a pushover dude, and the guy that they had there wasn't, and that's the whole thing. He wasn't that guy. So I think that's why he didn't last very long.
So I'm gonna say this.
We started talking NBA, and he was like, "I'm the out of here."
Yeah.
NBA.
I'm a pecan. No, it's not the reason. I get, hell, I got a real job I got to get to early in the morning. So
no problem, Coach. We appreciate
Coach had a real job.
No.
Made me feel bad.
You guys, I love you guys. Hey, it was great to meet you, Coach Smook, and I tell you what, Coop, it's always a pleasure to listen to your. I've told you before, I just love the way you think, and you bring some great points out, and I love that. And to everybody on here, thanks for being on here. Love you guys. And Jason, I love you. And by the way, you need to give me a call tomorrow.
Okay.
I got a little something going on that I don't know if it'll interest you or not, but let's talk.
All over. I'll
Coach, I'm rocking with you. Coach, I'm gonna need you on the Coach Smooth Morning Show. We need that energy. I love that energy. I'm gonna need you on the Coach Smooth Morning Show. I'm gonna be Jason, you know me. I don't care about being not being the face of anything. This dude is.
He's a hey, coach
is
sought after
content, bro. If I could put my name next to his, I promise you, we about to make some money. I promise you, Coach.
Y'all are funny.
I promise you, man. I'm a
I
content
just throw
creator.
my bullshit out.
Listen, it ain't BS with me, bro. I see value in everything that you're saying because it's informative, but it's entertaining at the same time. So, Coach, I appreciate you. I'm honored to be on this panel right now.
Yo,
like,
man, who is this?
I've been watching Coop for a minute, bro.
Yeah. Coop does a great job, man.
He the G, man. People sleeping on my boy.
Okay, love you guys.
All right, love you, Coach.
Y'all have a good one.
I'll hit you up tomorrow after
Hey,
the
do I need to leave this running for you?
Probably. Yeah, just pop up and turn off your camera. I got you.
I will. Got
All
you.
right. All right.
Oh, look at us. Back to the 3. Then there
down to 3. Here we go to 3. All right. So yeah, where were we at here? We can continue with this NBA stuff, but most of my folks in here ain't gonna love it.
Hit that star.
Yeah, we get off the NBA stuff. We can get back on the college football because I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I like this one. If you guys had to build a linebacker core with linebackers from your favorite team in college and an opponent, who would it be? Mine's Ray Lewis, Colin McCarthy, and Derek Brooks. So this guy is obviously, we're with Miami linebackers, and who's McCarthy? Where did Colin McCarthy play? Was it at OU? No,
OU. I was about to say, or Ohio State, one of them.
I don't remember. But
did McCarthy play at Ohio State or OU? Let me know, because I want to
probably if I'm gonna have to put a Alabama linebacker, it would be Reuben Foster, probably.
Over Orlando
McClain.
Right. McCarthy with Miami.
McCarthy was Miami. Okay. I don't know.
Reuben Foster over.
Reuben Foster was a bad dude, bro. God.
He was, but Rolando McClain was a bad dude for 3 years straight, from freshman to junior year, and still went first round.
Right.
I got mine.
Yo,
go ahead, bro.
Y'all guys got to get this guy out of here.
So I'm gonna go. I mean, Ray Lewis is just. Anytime you can put the fear of God into somebody, and you know he had a different side. Now, I would like to say a couple of other guys that I think would be there, and you know, which have a twinge of crazy with them, but they don't. What was the Luke Kuechly out of Boston College?
Okay,
played Carolina. I mean, he was just fundamentally just on top of his stuff. And then if I had to go for a speed linebacker, I'm going to go straight homer and go Teddy Lehman. I mean, when you're running a 10-1-9 100 at that weight, I mean, he was just an absolute. And I mean, he had 2 other dogs with him, with Torrance Marshall and Rocky Calmus. But Teddy is a guy that, I mean, injuries. He doesn't go to Detroit, or he doesn't have injuries. That's a guy who sticks in there. But I mean, there's just too many. Because even as you guys are throwing in there, Derek Brooks out there. What's the Brian Cushing kid out of?
Coop. Give me 2 seconds, please.
Go for it.
Can I be petty?
Yeah.
Jason, can I be petty?
Please do. Yes, please.
Adam Lamparello just jumped in the chat. I've been waiting for him to show up.
Hit him.
Adam Lamparello knows nothing about football. I'm gonna tell you right now. You look at his comments, he has nothing about football, but he says so much. Listen, Adam, give me your top 3 linebackers of this. Like, we want to know your top 3 linebacker core. Don't hate Coach Smoot me. I want to hear. You see him, Jason? I want to hear linebackers, because the fact that and Coop, you named some legit guys. Like top 3 linebackers of this era. I think we need to let's make this more precise.
All right.
Let's say top 3 linebackers from 2015 to 2025, because we're coming to, let's say 2004 to 24, because we're coming into 25 next year. 2004 to 2024. Top 3 linebackers. And I'm talking about the best 3 linebackers you put on the field collegiately, not what they did in the NFL. Collegially, Mike, Will, and Sam. We're going traditional 3 linebacker set. Mike, Will, and Sam. Coop, take it away.
Now you get since
It's
2015.
pressure. That's pressure. That's pressure, right?
Woo.
You can't. You know what? And I'm gonna say this, and not because I'm a Bama fan, but you can't leave Rolando McClain out from. Like, he really changed the tone of what a Mike linebacker was expected to be. You talk about Spikes from Florida. You talk about Urlacher. I forget where Urlacher went, but they all
was from. Yep.
He went to New Mexico.
New Mexico, drafted by the Bears.
He followed the mold of what it took to be a linebacker from those. He'll tell you. Everybody that came from the SEC was his influence. Urlacher tried to get into Tennessee his senior year just to build his draft stock. The SEC was where you wanted to be a linebacker. So I'm thinking, dang, Urlacher was a dude in college too, though.
Yeah,
at New Mexico.
He played every position but quarterback.
But
quarterback.
I remember seeing Urlacher a strong safety, covering in third phase routes, like post corner type stuff, and being in phase and covering guys.
Yeah, he was a bad dude. He played every position but quarterback. I'm not even BSing you.
Was Urlacher, didn't he have like 37 receptions in his collegiate career or something like that?
He played tight end. Yeah, he was dope. Yeah.
Cool. You get what I'm saying? Like, how many athletes do you have in today's day and age like that? Not many. I mean, Roquan Smith, Adam Lepro said, Roquan Smith, shoot. Hey,
boy PG in the house. The RPG.
Mars, put your handle in the chat real quick so I can promote you real quick. You got to keep those guys out of here.
Hey, PG, what's up, Brody? PG is my dude. PG rides so hard for Oklahoma.
He's the man.
My God.
And I'll say this about PG. PG has the conversations that he's having with some of these kids, and he showed me a screenshot from somebody who just committed to somebody else. And this guy says, "Do not lose my contact because I might be back. I dig you as a person."
I know who you're talking about. And that's what you know what I feel like. And Coop, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you was able to say something like that, because at the end of the day, I know for a fact I know who you're talking about. But because I respect what PG's done to get in that relationship and that space with that player, and that same player has told me, "Hey, don't get too hyped, Coach Smoot. Bama on my radar, but don't get too hyped. I love Oklahoma." I know he was like, "Man, I talked to so and so." Okay, bet, boom, and that doesn't bother me because I know at the end of the day, I was like, "Hey, if you got any problems or you want some real stuff, go talk to my boy over here." You know what I'm saying? I gave him J contact. I gave him PG contact. I gave him unfair. I gave him bruh's contact. I was like, bruh, talk to them. And so we doing something different, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we got to stick with this.
You're killing on Adam Lamparello, but he's popped out a couple of pretty decent ones, bro.
He's got Google.
Listen, yeah, he got Google like a mug.
Hey, I would say
Adam don't. Hey, listen, cool. I'm glad you said that because Adam don't mind paying for some of them message boards memberships from all of them sites. Ohio State message board, Bama message board, Florida message board, Ole Miss message board. He got all them freaking message boards memberships. He got on a subscription. Adam, you don't get no respect from me. You know I don't care. I let him know. Adam Lamparello been messing with me since Bama football on YouTube, and I'm telling you, every time he came at me, he's had to come back and apologize. He's had to come back. I don't know why he ain't learned his lesson yet, but Adam, stop listening to Mr. HEN, him. Stop listening to him. You better stop wasting. You be wasting your data listening to that bum when you can literally come to all three of us on the planet and get the real stuff. Stop it. Adam, I'm sorry. I'm back.
All right.
Jason be letting me act up, but that's why I love Jason. He let me act up a little bit.
Hey, this is Talk Your Shit Thursday. What do you mean? This is Talk Your Shit Thursday. This is what we do. All right. Arch nemesis. Yeah. Arch nemesis. I love it. All right. Glad to, hey man, but you can show up in here anytime you want there, Adam, and we'll let you talk. We'll let you talk.
And that's what I respect about Adam.
Yeah,
that's what I respect about Adam. He's never been hidden about disagreeing with me. But when I'm right, Adam comes back and say, "Oh damn, Coach Smoot, you show." And Adam, I'm 10-0 against you. Stop it. Stop doubting me. At this point, stop doubting. And Coop will tell you. Coop, let's tell him. A Collindeer? Am I tripping about a Collindeer or what? You know what I'm saying? And he's not even an Ole Miss coverage guy. He covers recruiting. Am I tripping about Collindeer coming?
No.
You get what I'm saying? So Adam, give me my respect, man.
Hey, I got another linebacker that just popped in my head too.
Go.
Because dude,
don't tell him. Don't tell him, please. You don't tell him.
Okay, here we go. I'll give you clues.
Okay.
He's a Brent Venables guy, a Swiss Army knife, played all over everywhere. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Miles Johnson. Is it Miles? Because I know Lane Miles are real tight. And Miles is committed to Alabama. So so Miles Johnson, I'm gonna say this, and bro don't have to reveal it. I'm gonna say this. I've been saying it without saying it for the past few lives. Miles Johnson, if we had to have a 25 linebacker commit to decommit and flip, it's going to be Miles Johnson. One, because he fits the mold of the linebacker that you want in that Ole Miss defensive scheme. Two, Lane Kiffin knows how to show in-state Alabama kids what they can get on the backside of Alabama. Mississippi is just the backside of Alabama. Just like Mississippi believed that Alabama is the backside of Mississippi, Alabama believes that. And so a kid like Miles Johnson going to Ole Miss makes sense. It makes sense. And he's a quality, highly touted 4-star linebacker. To have him flip, that would create momentum for other players. And Miles Johnson knows that. So that's all I'm gonna leave out there.
All right. Isaiah Simmons is a winner to me too. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons, who I was talking about.
That he going to OU. Isn't he commit to OU?
No, Isaiah Simmons.
He's in the NFL.
He's in the NFL now. He went to
linebacker.
He went to Clemson.
Yeah.
That was Peter Ward. Peter Ward. Is it Peter Ward that came out of Alabama? That John hurt my feelings when he commit to Clemson.
Dang, Trojan Fight took a shot here. He said just a hair above overthrow Joe Milton.
Trojan Fight. So check this out. Hey, Jason, I got something for Trojan Fight.
I know
Trojan
you do.
Fight.
I knew this was coming.
We got this event coming up, right? Alabama versus Georgia tailgate. Coach Smoot. Go ahead and purchase a general admission ticket. I'll even cover you to come to the VIP seating area, right? Where we're going to have the game projected. Trojan Fight. Go back to that comment. What he said. Miro is just a hair above.
I'll go back to it.
Just a hair above Joe Milton. Listen, Trojan Fight. When Miro goes for 350 plus against Georgia and 80 plus rushing against Georgia, where this past year he literally Coop, did you watch the Georgia Bama game in the SEC championship? How many underthrown balls did Miro have where the DBs were just getting cooked? How many?
I don't remember.
It was too many, right?
I mean,
Miro underthrew Jermaine Burton on the first 3 passes he threw to Burton. He underthrew Hale on the deep crosser. I mean, not Hale, but what's the tight end? Knee Black. He underthrew Knee Black on the deep crosser. He underthrew. I mean, Miro was just so hyped for that game that he was not in rhythm.
We talking about the Iron Bowl?
No, the SEC championship game against Georgia.
He won the game. He won the game.
He won it though. He found a way to win it. It was definitely on the offense to win it. And the Iron Bowl, The Iron Bowl, Auburn's going to show up. Anytime they play at home, they're going to show up. I don't care. But Miro at home against Auburn this year, my God, this might be like NCAA cheat code type stuff where you using the quarterback too long. You know what I'm saying? The guy seems cool, but he on that crimson cool. Listen, go back to his comment. Keep chopping. Keep chopping. I'm gonna tell you this. It ain't crimson Kool-Aid when you've won 6 national championships out of the last 17 years. It's not Kool-Aid. At this point, it's freaking diagnosis and treatment. You can't go against the Crimson Tide, fool. Try me. What up, Jay Still? I'm here.
We love all love on that end. And I
don't trip, y'all. It ain't personal. I love it.
I'll tell you this. There's look, he's gonna sit here and talk his shit about Alabama. And if you're an Alabama fan, you should be talking your shit.
Why not? Jason, why not?
6 natties under Saban, 6 in 17 years. That's a lot.
There's not a program on the planet that wouldn't trade. I mean but there's not a program on the planet that would not trade. Even if you guys went to absolute shit for the next 10 years, it'd have been worth it for the past 15.
And that's the thing. Georgia did it for 40 years. Georgia fans did it for 40 years, y'all. Georgia fans talk shit to everybody in the SEC because they was able to win 9-10 games for so many years. And you don't think Alabama fans are going to hold
fired and got Kirby in there, right? When they
didn't even, you know what's crazy? They didn't even, you know what's crazy, Jay? They didn't even fire Rich, bro. They didn't even fire Rich. They let him go. They said it was over. Like, they didn't fire him. They was like, hey, we're moving on to Kirby Smart. That's what and they didn't fire him. They was like, hey, after this year, Kirby Smart's ready to come. That's it. They didn't fire him. They didn't say Mark. They didn't end the season with an offensive coordinator leading the team.
I'm gonna give Trojan Fight some love on what he's saying here. And this is your question. If you're looking at Alabama as a true championship contender this year, you got 2 questions in my opinion. You got 2. Number 1, can they change him into a more efficient passer? Because we know he's got a big arm, but his accuracy wasn't great last year. And you can say what you want to say about the quarterback coach and all that other stuff, right? It wasn't good. Right? He was 43rd in passing numbers. I think he got better as the year went along, without a doubt. And so, but that's a fair question. The other question would be what I asked earlier. Can they, with the defensive talent that they still have on this roster, are they still going to be able to play top level defense in the SEC the way that you would expect it to? Because that's one thing. If you have a question about KD, Kalen DeBoer's defenses haven't been very good. They win with offense. And we all know that you can't just win with offense. So I think these are fair questions.
So I'm gonna say this. Anytime you have an offense that's ranked in the top 5 and the defense that's ranked in the top 50, you're putting yourself in a good position in today's day and age. Now, if you go before 2007, 2006, that's you can't talk about winning without a top 25 defense, right?
Right.
And you only need a top 50 offense to win in it. But you look at what Kalen DeBoer is doing, Kane Womack, and his play calling style, the aggressiveness of his style, the athletes that he has available to run this style of offense. I mean, this style of defense.
Sure.
It's almost like you look at where South Alabama was ranked under Kalen DeBoer. I mean, not Kalen DeBoer, but Kane Womack. You looked at how what they did pressures when they sent 6-man pressures. 87% pressure rate, or I think it was 37% creating turnovers. That was number 7 in the nation. But their efficiency rating, 26, was South Alabama. And South Alabama plays in the Southern Conference, or what is it called? The SBC, or Southern Belt Conference, or whatever. With all these the Sun Belt Conference, all these high power offices, spread offices, air raid offices, and they were ranked number 26 in the nation. Alabama last year was not in the top 20. They were not in top 30 as a defense, and they were one stop away from being in the national championship. So you don't think? So in my mindset, as a fan and as a coach, I'm like, you don't think Kane Womack comes and gets a Q Rob and a Keanu Colt and Jihad Campbell and Deontay Lawson and a Tim Keenan and a Ja Latham and a Tim Smith and a Jaheim Otis and a Quay Russo, all these recruits that everybody was after. And you don't think he comes in and he finds a way to use these guys? He gets a transfer into Monty Jackson, Keon Sabb. He gets a Cameron Hart. He gets a King Mack, Deshaun Jones. He gets 3 5-star recruits in the 24 class, and you don't think he knows how to use them on the defensive scheme?
Not saying that. I wouldn't say that, but I think this is a great question. So Eric, I appreciate you bringing that question. You got 10 minutes left, Scoop. You get this question first. Which team is most likely to become more dominant in the coming 10 years, Bama or OU?
I mean, at this point, that's pure speculation. We have no idea what you have no.
What it be?
So,
Spit it, bro. Cool. Be real. Be real. Come on.
I say this, that with Alabama, they have the proven track record. Now we have to see what Kalen DeBoer does here, because I think I've made it pretty clear that, like, you've got guys who could probably be great coaches at places where the expectations are not national championship or bust. When, every single Oklahoma fan, they want national championship. Now, I think that people are pretty level-headed, and you feel how you feel, and but we don't think like this year's like Oklahoma fans have been talking like, well, in 2025 for the past several years, like 2025, that's the year that we need to be looking at. And then, now this year, you're thinking like, man, we are, returning starters on the offensive line from a very, 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 optimistic season. But we don't know what this team does in the SEC. We have feelings. So
True.
I feel like Brent Venables right now has this program on an absolute upwards tilt. He has everything. Where Brent Venables is really going to get tested is when DeMarco Murray or Emmett Jones or Bill Bedenbaugh or Todd Bates or Miguel Chavis, any of these coaches leave. And now you got to bring in a comparable coach, comparable recruiter, and all of those pieces. So I think that right now Oklahoma has every single advantage out in front of them. They have every single opportunity out in front of them. They are recruiting it's 3 straight top 10 classes. Another one's incoming, already starting in on 26. And watch it. I'm just gonna let you guys know, within 72 hours, we're gonna see some fireworks from Oklahoma. They've got the Champ U barbecue going on this weekend, and commitments are gonna start happening. They're gonna start going. And Trojan, I'm just gonna tell you now, another big dog Cali quarterback is about to commit to Oklahoma.
And you know what? I was gonna say this. You know what? If it wasn't Bama, it was definitely Oklahoma. If it was Oklahoma, it's going to be Clemson. If it wasn't Clemson, it's going to be Georgia for that quarterback. And I can't wait to see it happen. And USC, eat your heart out. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Lincoln Riley don't deserve it. He don't deserve to waste another QB talent. Like, he's yet to. And Jason, I'm gonna stay on it. But Riley has not ever developed, ever.
No, he sent Caleb to the league, and Caleb's going to struggle with only having learned how to read half the field.
Horribly.
Only half the field.
But I say this. I feel very confident, very, very confident, not as a fan, but as an analyst, as someone who stares at these guys' film, as someone who does breakdown on these films. I feel very confident where OU is. But I have to give the edge to Alabama because of track record.
You know what? And I'm gonna tell you this: track record says with Kalen DeBoer, when he gets his guy, he not giving the energy to the extra. When he gets his guy, and Russell is locked in. I'm telling you right now, Russell is locked in. Personal conversations. I know Russell is not. That's why he canceled the rest of the visits. Russell had visits to Texas, Oregon, all these other schools, right? He canceled them.
Okay, Trojan. Last name O'Neal. Okay, if you don't know who he is, look him up.
Trojan.
Before we record again.
At this point, Coop, Trojan doesn't even know about
He doesn't need to talk anymore. But neither does Roger Dodger coming in here. Everybody easy to out recruit a poverty program.
Listen, Roger Dodger.
Oh,
who's Roger Dodger a fan of?
Well, you can see it right there.
He's a Trojan. He's another Trojan.
They in shambles right now. Exactly. That's my point.
They're in shambles. They don't want to put up the money for this clown coach. That's
no. Hold on a second.
But not even with just Justice and the rest of these guys. When Juju announces that he's decommitted, and you know what's crazy? Juju might announce that he's jumping on this bandwagon, this Bama bandwagon, right? There might be 2 top 10 recruits, top 10. We've seen this at Alabama before. Jalen Miro, Bryce Young. They were both top 10 recruits as quarterbacks when it came to Alabama. We've seen this before. So don't think it's weird. But I'm gonna say this, man, before I get out of here. I definitely gotta get off of here and go to bed. My old lady is like, "Boy, what's your problem?" But listen, man, I enjoyed this dialogue, man. I've been over here. I don't know if y'all noticed, but this bottle was full when I y'all see this?
You were getting a little sleepy headed or slurring.
No, bro. I listen, I'm a party
it's gonna
animal.
Be a rough morning on the Coach Smoot Network.
Negative. This ain't even. I got a BioLite and I got some cranberry juice and I got a bottle of water. I'm one of those guys. I'm experiencing this. I'm a veteran, so I know how to face myself. But Coach Coop and what's the other young? What's the other? Yeah, Roy Bell. They got me hyped, man. And then Jay trying to be. I'm gonna tell y'all. Jason be trying to be petty. He brings my.
I'm petty.
He bring my little brother Brinsky on. Sharpshooter podcast. He bring him on, and Sharpshooter don't need to say much. He know how to hype me up. Man, I messed around and poured some more of this, and I was like, "Yo, time out, wait." And I was listening to him, and this is why I say I don't like to come on y'all shows because I'd rather just listen because I could pour my drink and listen and not be embarrassing myself. But hey, Jason, I appreciate you for bringing me on 100%. Cool. Great to meet you finally in person, man. Yes, I can't wait to have y'all boys on the Coach Smoot Network. Jason, you know how the Coach Smoot Network get down. We go hard. We go crazy for supporting our people. And Coop, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, man. I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I am all about community. I'm all about growth. I'm all about just great content. I feel like we did something great tonight. And I want to thank y'all boys, man. I love the panel. And check me out, Coach Smoot on all platforms. Coach Smoot at Coach Smoot on all platforms. And we're gonna get this thing popping, man. I really think we about to really change the game of how college football coverage is done. People want this.
It's gonna be fun, bro. Oh yeah, they do. Well, I'll see you out there tomorrow. I'll see you out there in the morning as I'm getting ready.
100%, man. I'm about to do about 30 push-ups and go pass out.
Have fun with that. All right, man. Thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. All love. Absolutely.
All right, man. Look, I got to leave y'all with this. Roll Tide.
Right on, bro. We'll let him. All right, man. We appreciate everybody in here. Now, I thought he was getting a little slurry. There for a second. That was good. I didn't realize it until he brought out the bottle, though. All right, Roger Dodger. We'll leave with this, Coop. We need to address it because we started off with this. UCLA or USC is doomed unless they get some NIL money in the future. USC is doomed because if they're not giving NIL money, you know what it is? It's because they don't believe in this cap. He gave $10 million of NIL money to Caleb Williams to go 7-5. That's all I got. Coop, you can add to that if you like.
And I would just say this: it's people are wise to the game, and when you're in recruiting battles, like you look at Oklahoma fights with A&M and Texas for, almost everybody, right? When you look at recruiting battles, every single other school knows who you're talking to. They've seen the list, they've seen the offers, and so they just bring it. And every single school is is saying the same thing about USC, and they're just pointing it out. And so I don't listen, Trojan fans. If you guys, I said it earlier, if you guys are really, really, really just dead set on hate, I think you need to turn it to your program, because people are wise to Lincoln Riley's game. They've seen it now play out between two different massive programs. You guys are freaking USC. You're USC, the University of Southern California. You guys have to want better from your program, because what's going to happen is you guys are going to become middle of the pack in the Big Ten. And nobody, I mean, you're not hanging out only on the West Coast anymore. Now you got to take the flight to New Brunswick, New Jersey to go play Rutgers this year. You guys, you have to do this. Now, and Roger, I'm not talking about you. I'm just thinking, like, you guys have to absolutely, you have to want better from your program. And I think that I think it's crap, because I think USC fans, I think you guys have a massive disadvantage, because there is tons of other stuff to do in California. It's freaking California. And we won't get into politics, but I mean, you guys got beaches. You guys got the PCH. I mean, that's the number one place. I mean, hell, at any point you could drive yourself up to north of PCH through Gilroy and smell the garlic. I've been there. But what you have to have is you have to have actually head coach that people are going to start respecting. There's a reason why Lincoln Riley is at USC this year, and that's because no NFL teams wanted him. Jason, was I not saying Lincoln Riley won't be in college football next year at this time last year?
Yeah.
I had that flag planted. And so now
I think that was coming. I think that was pretty clearly coming, except for they were so bad that it didn't give him the opportunity to leave.
Exactly. And that's why he's still there. And so now it sucks. If you're from Oklahoma, you're used to freaking wind. So, and long and windy drive. So
it's a cool,
I'm pretty sure it's a 37 mile per hour wind right now. Yeah. But I'm just saying is USC, it's not the fact that you guys don't have NIL. It's just the fact that the players did not want to come to Oklahoma. Defensive players did not want to come to Oklahoma because they knew that it was not complimentary football. They knew that it was not going to happen. And now you're seeing
when Perrion Winfrey came out and said it out that, you know, that they were dogging him in the amongst all the dudes at the Senior Bowl. You knew something was up.
And Trojan, I'm saying, listen, it doesn't matter who you guys bring in on the defensive staff, because Lincoln Riley doesn't respect that. He doesn't pay attention to that. He is not going to push assets towards that way. What
did coach say? It's got to be, think about it. Every time that he's not playing complimentary football. He's not helping out the defense. It's not about Danson Lynn or Coach Henney. I think both guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
But he's going to hurt him. He's going to hurt him.
Yeah, is the exact same thing. And so what happens is every single school that is recruiting these kids is sitting there calling like, do you want to waste this? Do you want to waste all your time here? Because guess what? You're going to be out there. Your offense is either going to have a quick 3-and-out or a 2-minute scoring drive, and then your ass is back on the field, and you're running 100 snaps a game on defense. And you can't recruit the level with NIL. You're already hurting, but then you can't have the competitive depth. And I'm out of drinks, so I can't have that. So, but you don't have the competitive depth to do this. So it is. I think Lincoln Riley is going to have to, somebody's going to have to. I thought it was going to be Vegas or San Diego. And they went after boring-ass Jim Harbaugh in San Diego versus Lincoln Riley. You can't tell me as a Chargers fan that you're looking at there and going,
oh, yeah, they're going to run the shit out of the football all year, not going to throw it at all, when they've got a quarterback that can fling it. That's wild.
And Roger,
what they're going to do. That's what
you guys are USC. You are one of the blue bloods. You are one of the blue bloods, and you need to have better. And here's the thing is, for every single excuse that Lincoln Riley talked about, couldn't recruit guys to the OU has a 5-star quarterback. OU has 5-star defensive tackles now. OU is getting in on 5-star safeties. They have 5-star safeties.
Out recruiting him.
Defensive players are coming here because they know that there's a coach there that is going to be committed to defense, and they are going to put them in the best position to be noticed and to go to the NFL. Because no dude wants to say, well, I can still go to USC and be a 5th-round draft pick, but shit, I would really like to go to the SEC and play at LSU and be a 2nd or 1st-round draft pick. They're going to go that way. And so I just listen. I don't give a crap about the Lakers hiring JJ Redick. I think it's a joke, but basketball is better when the Celtics are good, when the Lakers are good. College
Facts.
football is better when USC is good.
Absolutely, I agree.
And
I agree with
listen,
that.
and I hate Texas. I want them to lose every damn game that they line up. But I would like to see USC be successful.
Texas is going to lose a lot of games. We already know that. This is what they do. This is what they do until they actually show us that they can. They haven't replaced the guys that they got out of there, and whether it was through the portal or not. But I'll say this, and just to piggyback off of what. First off, I want to say this about Roger Dodger. You're not wrong. This is right here. This is the first time I've actually seen you come in not throwing shots at us. So I'll give you props for that, because you know that this show particularly has been real about it. I've been real about it with USCJ. Tim Prangley hates it that I'm real about it, but USCJ handles it. And USCJ will come back and talk his shit right back. What I would tell you is this. All this stuff is no different than what we've seen out of him before. But there's a reason why those guys decommitted. And if it's the NIL stuff, why is it the NIL stuff? Because you can't tell me that you paid Caleb all that money, you paid Caleb Williams all that money, you paid some of those other guys all that money, and y'all went 7-5. That's what it's about. They're not going to put up with that shit. Why would you pay that? But I agree that SC needs to decide what they're going to do, because to me, you just wasted your time hiring Danton Lynn and Coach Henney. You wasted your time with it. They didn't, and Lincoln Witt halfway though. He rehired his staff on the defensive side. He's saying the right things, and then he didn't get rid of Wiley. If you tell me that they're getting bigger this offseason, I'm going to tell you I don't want to hear that shit. Because if you remember when Tim Prangley said, stick's not a stick anymore last year, bullshit. They were still little. They were worse with better players in year 2 than they had been in year 1. It blows me away when guys come in here and make excuses. Look, Trojan Fight, you've made excuse after excuse after excuse for the last 2 nights you've been in here. And I'm going to tell you that this is why Lincoln continues to not get it done, is because y'all listen to his excuses. Because that's what he does. Yeah. He makes excuses.
And on the NIL fine, Trojan, you ask a good question here, is why is it legal but not transparent? I think that the hearsay is more powerful than the truth. And these guys will end up speaking to each other. But again, at the same time, I mean, it's I'm going to keep it as PC friendly as I can right here. It's a pissing contest, right? It's who's got the bigger Johnson. And so these kids aren't going to share the numbers that they're getting. Some of the numbers that was thrown out for Jalen Rashado or Nico Emil, whatever. And, some of these cats, like, these things are nuts. Like, some of these stories that are promised, a lot of these things just go absolutely crazy. And so, I full on the NIL piece.
Because NIL isn't salary. It's like, it's supposed to be for like endorsements. They don't have to tell you what it is.
Yeah, it's like going into a full sales commission job and them saying, you can make up to $250,000. Yeah, if you work your ass off and you make results happen and you get extremely lucky and you've got great relationships,
but you can't go promising kids a certain dollar amount like you did with Jordan Addison from Pitt and then not pay him. And you can't do that. And then if we're talking about during recruiting season, you've got 2 5-star guys that you locked in from Georgia, and you miss the payment. Ooh, that tells you more about what they think of Lincoln than it does about Lincoln. It tells you more about what they think of him out there, because they would never allow that to happen if they really were bought into Lincoln Riley at this point.
And if you're Lincoln Riley, you better pray to whatever God you pray to that Cliff Kingsbury has some success out there in Washington. Mm-hmm. You bet. I mean, he's got a quarterback that can do that for him. And I still don't understand how that guy continues to get jobs. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But I just say this, you have to absolutely you have to hope if you're Lincoln Riley, because your shine is gone. Now you're looking like a punk for backing out of, he bailed out of OU because of the SEC move. And then he was openly frustrated about the Big Ten move at USC. Yep. And then his
trying
name
to get
was
out of LSU, trying to get out of, and then did get out of the Ole Miss, because you know why that is? He got out of Ole Miss because he knew that freaking Lane Kiffin was about to make him look like trash.
And Jason, look at what Lee just put. If you want to see the biggest difference, Kyler Murray against Army made one mistake the entire game, and it almost cost him. We scored every possession minus an interception at the turn of halftime, and that right then is where that's when I was done. I remember I was at a bar with my buddy Kartik, and it was called Fox and Hound. I don't know if it's everywhere else, but I still remember being in the back of that place and being absolutely embarrassed as an OU fan, because we just went toe-to-toe with Army. And Army, again, was like 4-8 that year or something ridiculous. And I don't care if they were 8-4, it was still freaking Army. So if you're USC, I think that you need to do the job, no pun intended, rather than later. You need to go ahead and set some, stipulations, encourage him to go find a job somewhere else. Because you know what? Go ask a Dallas Cowboys fan. Do you really want to be overvalued and underperform every single damn year? No, you don't. You want to get back to relevance. When you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been remotely just completely mediocre forever, they're winning Super Bowls. You've got Joe Burrow in Cincinnati taking them deep in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts, who I personally said I didn't think he was going to get drafted. I thought he would be a free agent guy because of his work ethic, but he has proved me dead wrong at this point, because I was so down on Jalen Hurts and Spencer Rattler and everybody from that. So you're going to have to get back to, I think somebody said it earlier in the chat, USC was ruined by Clay Helton and Lincoln Riley. And Clay Helton was something you could come back from. Lincoln Riley,
I don't know that Clay Helton was the I mean, everybody loves to diss on Clay. I've got my own feelings about it. I don't think that Lane and Sark helped when they went with them next in line. That was your problem, was Lane and Sark.
Well, I'll just say this is, I say it. If you guys are hearing me, you USC fans, if you're hearing me, you guys deserve better, and you guys should demand better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, is they're not good, but they're not going to give up money to, and I understand not giving up NIL money to this dude. And look, what I heard on USCJ this morning was don't blame it on Danton Lynn and Coach Henney. And then he said, don't blame it on Lincoln. That's where I would take issue. And me, I'm straight up with USCJ, like he's straight up with me. I would tell him, you're wrong there. You're wrong there, because the reason that the NIL isn't paying up is because of Lincoln. He makes excuses. He literally threw Grinch under the bus over and over. And I mean, Grinch must have something on him, bro. Or he must have something on Grinch or something that he owed him big, because I got to tell you, unbelievable to me why you would let him throw you under the bus like that, ruin your whole career. I don't think that. Yeah, but look, I'm not saying that he was the right guy for that job at SC, because he clearly wasn't, right?
And that bash him, you're 100% right.
Yes, he did.
When he threw his breadwinner, the only reason why he is still relevant in college football, when he threw Caleb Williams, so again, why you're throwing your defensive coordinator under the bus, you're throwing the university under the bus, you're throwing the collectives under the bus, you're throwing your defense under the bus, your star Heisman winning quarterback. The only reason why people are, even paying attention to USC. It's just, you got to get rid of Lincoln, because I promise you, if you're going up against San Jose State, Stanford, Oregon, Oklahoma, Georgia, Nebraska, whoever you're going up against for a recruit, they are pointing out every single one of these things we're saying.
Yeah, they should have went after Gary Barnett, not freaking.
And don't go over Eli Drinkowitz, because if you guys think that,
my God, Eli Drinkowitz, my God,
understand that they've had one winning season in a decade. So I mean,
who said drink?
No, nobody. I'm just saying.
Oh, I was
I'm
going to
just
say
saying,
somebody's getting a timeout for that one. Don't
go
bring
in
that
and
drink shit in here.
yeah, don't be the guy who offers the $1 million to the free agent who had his first good year ever, because he ain't having that year again.
It wasn't just Grinch's fault, man. That's what I'll tell you. Look, I don't think Grinch is good. We've never said that in here. But it doesn't matter if you're good or not if you don't play complimentary football.
I'm just saying. If Grinch wanted to throw himself under the bus, he'd probably mess it up somehow. So he couldn't throw himself under the bus.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, we've run through this quite a bit, man. And I appreciate everybody coming in here. We can go on 3 hours and 20 minutes. I got to get to work, and I know that it's Betty bye time for our boy Coop here. So, guys, I'm going to say this. I appreciate everybody coming in here, and I have love for all these programs, and honestly, look, I like to bust chops on Lincoln Riley because of all the stuff that he said on the way out, because of the shadiness that he pulled, recruiting to SC on the way out, and then saying shitty things about OU's fans since then, saying stuff that's never been substantiated with any police department in the OU area, all that stuff about the death threats and stuff. He's just done the best he could possibly do to shit on Oklahoma since he left. So we shit on him, and for good reason. But I'll say this. I've always had respect for USC. I hated it when the beat down that you took in the Orange Bowl Oklahoma did. But how do you not respect what SC was under Pete Carroll or under John Robinson or McKay, any of those guys? We're talking about a true blue blood that really got it done. It was a bad hire, period, plain and simple. And we know as Oklahoma fans, I've said it a bunch of times. I already said it today. I thank God every day that Brent Venables is the head coach there and not Lincoln.
And I promise you this, from the multiple conversations, and if you guys hop on Unfair, you hop on with us. We go live on Wednesday nights, usually on 8:30 Central, 6 p.m. on Sunday nights. You hop on and check our chat with the parents of players that are in there and watch that. Just these people are out of state and they're checking in with us and making, hearing their football content. And these parents talk about the culture there. That's something that if you're a USC guy and if you're a donor, listen, what do you have to lose to go and see what Venables is building? Because he is not only doing what's great, but he is also putting effort into developing these boys into men, and these parents are loving it.
Hey, and that's the main thing when you start talking about it. You start looking at what Venables is doing. He's doing it the right way. The recruiting with the sole mission, not just about money. He's making connections. It's most important to make those personal connections. Yes, you got to pay the bills. You got to do it. You got to pay NIL, and they will. But if you're not recruiting first on relationship building, you're not recruiting. And hey, Stephen G, thank you very much. I am going to do a quick ad read here. Folks, if you're still with big wireless, Verizon, AT&T, any of the big boys like that, you've got to take a look at Mint Mobile. And you can get 3 months of unlimited talk, text, and data with the nation's largest 5G network for just $45. The way that you do it is a simple way. You keep the phone that you have. You don't even have to get rid of your other service. Keep the phone that you have. Try it out in addition to your other service. $15 a month. It's way worth it. And then you'll see that it compares in every way. I've already switched completely all the way over to Mint Mobile. At 40, I'm going to save $1,600 this year on the two phones that I have. It's way worth trying it out. Try mintmobile.com/HOF. That's mintmobile.com/HOF. Check that out. You'll thank me later, but and it definitely helps the program, but you will definitely thank me later. Also, we have our official show merchandise right above me on the screen right above here, hofmedia.us/pod-merch. Get your 4 gear, horns down gear. We've got the coaches, I don't give up bleep shirt coming back to you soon, but make sure you check out that that message on the QR code shirt there whenever you get an opportunity. It's a personal message that goes out to you. So it'll take you right to a website when you bring it. Also, we have our Melreg Performance Golf Apparel, melreg.com/JW_HOF. It's right above Coop. Look, unbelievable performance style and great prices, you know. Whereas a lot of your golf shirts, if you play golf, and I know Coop you do, a good golf shirt's going to cost you in the $100 range every time. You can get these at Melreg, and they're unbelievable performance and style. You got SPF 30 protection with them as well. You're looking at right around $40 instead. So saving big money there. Great style, great price. I love the shorts myself. Those are my favorites. If you've tried Lululemon, you would. It's kind of real similar on that end. I always kind of think of it as basketball shorts, you know, but they look just like golf shorts. They're clean, no wrinkle, unbelievable stuff. Great feel. Just my thing, right? The competitive depth drink.
Those are coming. Those are coming
on both channels. I know you guys are going to do it on your channel, but we got to do it here too because we've been doing it everywhere. They're on their way, guys. We appreciate it. Hey guys, the easiest way to make sure that you and free way to support the channel is just make sure you hit the like button, share us with your friends. You know, let everybody know that this is the place to come and talk college ball. We love to talk football. This is what we do, and I'm even going to be back in the morning doing this some more. So I appreciate everybody joining up, showing up in here. Hit that like button. Make sure you get over to Unfair Sports and do the same. Make sure you go over to Coach Smook's network and do the same as well, along with Brinsky at the Sharpshooter Pod. We appreciate everybody showing up, man, and we will see you all on the next one. Horns down.